Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another exciting, fun-packed edition of Saturday Night InSaNiTy! Why is this in the way? There we go.
Jump in the bullshit, let's go!
With special guest star Quack rejoining us again. For the first time ever in a while since the last time.
Since the last time.
Yes.
For a while again.
For a while again.
For
the first time again.
It's been so long that I got braces.
Whoa, look at you looking like a teenage girl.
That's what I want.
with 5 o'clock shadow. Perfect.
Hi, my name's Sarah.
Hey,
First thing I could say.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
So
moving
how's
on.
everybody doing today? This week? Right now?
Week
Presently? Oh, the week sucks.
we
Darn
suck.
right.
Mine, was...
Burnt out.
Burnt out, yeah. Mine was
I
not
have
as... You have chocolate? Oh, lucky bum. My week wasn't as productive as I wanted it to be. I had to dip into the bill money a little bit to get Rosie's computer up and running, because it was given to us with 32-bit Windows, which meant it would only recognize 4 gigs of the 8 gigs of RAM, and thus ran extremely slowly. And I don't know what hard drive was in there, but it was some slow-ass piece of shit. I think it was an old PS3 drive that had been used a lot because it was so slow. So basically, got 64-bit Windows on there.
It's
So
over
now-
on 5,400 RPMs like a fucking animal.
So now it, well, this one was definitely not running at the full 5400. There's no
I was
question
being
about
silly,
that.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
But so yeah, I got 64 Windows on there and put an SSD drive in there, which is a little better. It's not the night and day difference I was hoping for, because I think it's a slightly older laptop. I think it actually has a SATA 2 connector, not a SATA 3 connector, so it's not using the full potential speed of that SSD drive. But at least, it's not going to be generating as much heat as like an old laptop drive, so it should help extend the life of it a little bit. And whenever Rose gets a new computer, we can just pop that old SSD drive out and pop it into the new one, and I don't have to buy another SSD drive. So there you go. Future-proofing, yo. So anyway,
Right over to a new computer.
the important thing is she's all up and running now. And the reason it was so critical for her to get up and running is because she's, as you guys, most of you will know, she's living with me permanently now. And she needs to be able to do her schoolwork. All her school is done online. So now she can finally get that going again this week. So hooray.
Yay!
So hopefully the next couple marathons go well to make up the difference in the bill money that I had to dip into for that. So here's hoping. So far, so good. We've had a pretty good marathon so far this weekend. Played some Fork Knife yesterday and today. And we've got a few hours in the queue for tomorrow. As always, any donations that come in during SNI will count towards tomorrow's hours. So keep them coming. We'll play all day. I'll get up early if I have to. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., baby. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Don't make me do it.
Don't make me. Well, actually, yes. Yes, please make me do it.
Oh, make me do it.
Make me do it.
Make sure he does it.
Make sure I do it. We're going to play Tetris all day.
You had it free. Tetris 99 is free.
Wow, that sounded just like the game.
It is.
Thanks.
So, there you go. And I actually watched a bunch of shit this week, so holy shit, I watched some shit. It was pretty good shit, too. Some pretty good shit. Went down a bit of a Netflix rabbit hole this week, but we'll talk about that in the movies. Movies.
I
and
had tech
stuff.
issues too.
Did
My
you?
internet went to fucking shit, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. We thought it was probably because of the wiring in the wall. And we're like, well, nobody can afford to pay thousands of dollars to fix that right now. So,
yes.
but we all need to, or at least my mom and I, we both work out of the home right now.
Right.
So it's like imperative that we have an internet connection. She
Yes.
needs it for Zoom meetings for
Oh, right. Yeah.
work.
Of course.
And I need it so that I can, write.
Right. Yeah.
Because
You don't need it. You just need a pencil and paper. Okay.
Just hold it up to the
Is,
screen. Yeah.
all the companies I work for, spoiler, most companies, when it comes to content production, they use Google Docs,
Yeah.
which is all
Yep.
online. You have to do it online.
It's easy to share.
Yeah.
You don't have
It's the
editing.
best,
There you go.
it's the best word processing program out there.
Yes.
Anyways,
I mean, I like OpenOffice quite a bit. But
I
use Google
yeah.
Docs too. So.
I also use
Thankfully-
OpenOffice or
thankfully,
LibreOffice as it's called
the
now.
problem.
They have both actually. Both
Do they?
exist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think I have Libre. It's good.
They're basically the
I
same
don't
thing.
I don't know how we fixed the problem, but we fixed the problem. And the reason I don't know how is because what fixed the problem was something that we had tried before, but for some reason it worked this time.
So now don't touch anything.
Exactly. I'm like,
Works.
It's working. Don't touch it. Don't fiddle with it.
Don't fuck with it. It's working. Just
Yeah.
yep.
The big problem I had with getting Rosie's computer up and running was I put the Windows disk in and it wouldn't recognize it. It wouldn't even recognize that there was a disk in there. And I looked at the the PC list of drives. It listed the internal optical drive as a CD drive. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would this only have a CD drive in it? So luckily, her old computer is almost the same model. It's like from the same generation, same line. So I thought, I can probably pop that drive out and pop it into this one. It's just a bit of a pain in the ass because Sony. Anyway, long story short, figured it out, ripped both computers apart, swapped the optical drives over, and turns out the one that was in the new computer is a DVD drive. It just doesn't recognize DVDs anymore. So it's clearly a dying DVD drive.
Probably just need the sensors probably all need to be replaced on that actually.
Yeah, well, that's far beyond my technical expertise, so fuck that noise.
Honestly, most of the time it requires just unplugging the little ribbon thing and then just undoing the screw. Like it's really easy, honestly. Just gotta look it up.
Yeah, but that also involves taking apart the drive and going into the meat of the mechanics of the drive, which, again, Sony don't want to mess with it. There's
Just
stuff.
more than you want to do.
This
Yeah.
Sony shit is like fucking Chinese puzzle boxes. Like, you take them apart, they have 5 million screws just to get to one little section, and then you always end up with some screws left over. By some miracle, I had no screws left over this time. I actually put it all back together correctly, and I was so proud of myself. So anyway, I put the other drive in, and it worked fine. It booted up from the disk and was able to get it installed, and everything worked fine. But I had some alternative solutions if need be, because like I have a dual dock that allows me to do clone hard drives quite easily and efficiently. So that was an option where I would just install it on the old one and then swap it over, clone it, and stuff like that. But I didn't want to go through all that if I didn't have to. But that was like a whole day. I was originally going to I'm going to get this set up in a few hours, and then I'm going to do some filming for YouTube. Yes, I'm working on YouTube videos. Amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but that just didn't happen. I ended up working on that fucking computer until like 8 in the morning, and now my sleep schedule's all screwed up again, and yeah, so anyway, got it all fixed. That was my
That's
week.
why we're late here because everything was offset.
Yeah, it was offset. I was gonna get up at 2 to do. We had like 4 hours, I think, in the queue for today. I ended up getting up at 3, but I had to be ready by 6 for SNI. Pushed SNI to 7. Started the stream at 4. Did 3 of the 4 hours. Carried 1 hour over till tomorrow, plus the bonus hours that we got during the stream. So it's been a week. It's been a week.
It's been a fucking week, yo.
Yeah.
Same here.
It's been a week.
Real shit week.
Yeah.
Thanks, we gotta go to the dentist again. Ugh.
Oh, good times. Good
Good.
times.
Should just be a checkup. Should be, knock on wood.
Yeah. Well, good. Hey, thanks, Quack. I don't know what I'm a lifeguard. Everybody, get back in the fiery water. Stop splashing fire around there, Billy. Just there's a spot over here without any fire on it. Cause I get some fire on that spot there? Thanks. I love how Dane Cook opens that segment where he's like, so have any of you ever been on fire? Hands up, anyone who's ever been completely engulfed in fire? Yeah.
Really engulfed in flames.
It just reminds me of the G.I. Joe PSA. He goes, oh, you know, these people, they go to sleep, they think everything's fine, everything's good, and they wake up the next day and they're on fire. G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Favorite is pork chop sandwiches.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Oh, fuck,
Get the fuck out of here! Oh my god!
What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here! Stupid idiot! What are you doing?
Boy, those sandwiches smell good.
I just run out here, Mom. Tell me do things. I
Done running.
running.
You guys definitely need to look those up. I forget exactly what they're called, but
Called the G.I. Joe PSA.
G.I. Joe PSAs, and they are by they are
never
by
seen
they
those.
they
That's gotta be a
they
good
they
playlist of
they
them.
they are by Fensler Films. Sometimes I have information, so it's good when you just shut the fuck up and let me get the information
No,
out.
it's not.
I know it's hard to believe.
I don't think that person's YouTube's up anymore.
Well, no, but they've been reposted like a million times.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a playlist right here.
Yeah. There you go.
There's
Took
Yeah,
Quack
exactly.
about a second to find them all. But
the very first one's a compilation, 16 minutes, all 25 of them.
Remember the first one I ever saw that was the guy
What the
that
fuck, you're subscribed.
burped
You
for
should
like
be
10
able to
minutes
put them.
straight.
Oh, the Finster ones are actually 10 minutes long. Sorry, 10 total minutes.
they're pretty short. Yeah, I mean you can
The second one,
you
sorry.
can easily marathon them.
Yeah.
Easily the thing that dates us as X amount of age of when the internet was still a baby watching these things.
Oh god, yeah.
This is like an early viral thing.
Yeah, it was like rat killer stuff that does it.
I am this meme years old.
He goes
They
all the way.
belong to us.
Yeah,
I'm that years
yeah.
old.
Like way pre-YouTube. Well, the Fensler Film ones were pre-YouTube. I remember I originally downloaded them all off E-Bombs World. E-Bombs World.
Videos.com.
Oh my god. It's a
The-
throwback.
The internet is public domain. I can steal whatever I want.
I remember that
Fuck you,
That-
E-Bomb.
argument. I'm like, I don't know about that. but
Yeah, no.
we should at least credit people.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I remember Ray William
what-
Johnson got into shit for that
Oh,
too.
Dancing Baby. That's probably an even older.
Dancing
meme.
Baby, yeah, that was from
That was
Dancing
really
Baby
fucking
was
the
on
Calista
on
Flockhart
thing.
series.
Yeah, and that it was so popular. That ended up it was an email chain thing.
It was a meme,
that got
yeah.
so popular
Yeah.
that came in on a fucking Calista Flockhart show. Like, what the fuck was
Yeah.
Felicity, right?
Mhm.
Anyway,
Was it? I thought it was from the Callista Flockhart thing
It was.
No.
originally. Yeah, I think it
Dancing
was.
Baby. It was from a
I mean,
sitcom.
Ally
Yeah.
McBeal?
Ally
No,
McBeal,
but
that was the one. No, it
I
was
thought the Dancing Baby
No.
was an email chain first.
no. It was from Ally McBeal and then it was memed.
Oh,
Call
the
it
other way around.
actually
Anyway,
call it the first meme.
Just do it!
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Your dreams come true!
Every goddamn time. I gotta make that one more expensive, I swear. That one is now 10,000 bits to play. Just do it. 100 bits is far too cheap. I don't know what I was thinking with that. Just getting bombarded with Shia LaBeouf screaming at me.
Just do it!
It gives me a small heart attack every time, too, because it's so loud. And I intentionally
Out of nowhere.
made it obnoxiously loud for that reason. Like, why do I torture myself?
Okay, so here it goes. In late 1996, web developer John Woodall created a highly compressed animated GIF of the source movie The Dancing Baby as part of the demo of the movie to go process, because that's what it was based on.
Okay.
And he later published the GIF to his employee webpage of the internet startup where he worked.
Yeah.
Animated cast then proliferated to numerous other websites and later proceeded to show up in the broader array of mainstream media, including the television show Ally McBeal, not Felicity.
Okay.
I got that wrong.
No, it was definitely not Felicity.
Apparently, it was a web. It was a web meme first.
Okay,
I
great.
thought so.
Excellent.
Like, this is an old ass meme.
Okay. Anyway.
Popularized by Al.
Yes. Correct. Made more popular, I guess. But yeah. And she kept
like
going around
blender
asking, like, how do I make the dancing baby go away? And it was like her biological clock was ticking, and that's how it was manifesting as these hallucinations of this dancing baby. So she
Just do it.
Oh my God.
Make your dreams come true.
I'm making that like $10 now. This is like
He's like, I'm immediately gonna go and change it right this
I'm
second.
changing it right now.
Oh God,
I'm
amazing.
so like just stressed out.
The best part is, Brian is literally cackling his head off.
Oh, I know he is. I can hear it in my mind. All right, just do it. Here we are. Well, you had a good run being cheap. Now you're $10 to scream at me.
Yeah, someone danky.
There we go. Yeah, actually, I'll make it $5. $5 is a little.
No, fuck that. Stand your ground. $10.
All right, fine. $10.
That's right. Stand it. That's right.
It's done.
Fuck that noise.
It's done.
Look at this
Spam it.
cap of this pig over here.
Spam him with the next low cheapest sound. That's all you gotta do.
The next cheapest sound. I'll put like a clip of Bob Ross being really relaxing.
Yes.
That will be.
You'll hate it after a while. You'll fucking hate it.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be great.
I will.
You should just do like the Crocodile Hunter going crikey or something,
Crikey on a loop.
Just waving at
That's a
me.
beaut.
Sounding like a chipmunk. Crikey, 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 crikey. It's like 5 times. Crikey, crikey, crikey.
Lord.
Just trying to make it as annoying as possible.
That's the connection.
Oh boy.
She's a beaut, ain't she?
And Ryan Chataway.
Oh, Ryan, I love you.
So now we'll have Eddie Valiant proclaiming all the connections he's found.
That's it. That's the connection.
Now that I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, so Ally McBeal, right? So the story was her biological clock was ticking and manifested as this dancing baby. So she went to her boss, who was played by, what's-his-face, the dude from Ghostbusters 2 and Dragon Slayer. Why can't I remember his name? Anyway. Yeah, but anyway, that guy.
No, God, please, no.
In jail now.
No.
Trolling me with your money. Thank you. I love you and hate you all at the same time.
I love
Such a
it.
dichotomy. So she goes to him and tells him about what's happening, and he says, I used to have a similar thing where, my dead mother or something or my dead grandmother kept appearing to me, and she wanted to have tea with me. And she says, so what did you do? He says, I had tea with her. It says, I just sat down and I had tea with her, and then she went away. She just never appeared again. And she was like, okay. So basically, the next time the dancing baby appeared, she danced with it. And then it never appeared again. And that was it. Peter McNichol. Thank you, 007. You are correct. Peter McNichol. And I love Peter McNichol.
Oh,
I don't
guy,
know
yeah.
how I forgot his name. I'm just... Anyway.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. You know him.
Vigo himself, but my
You
brain
know.
wasn't
No,
connected.
it's the one
I'm
who was
hilarious.
obsessed with
He
Vigo.
comes in and he's like,
No.
glowering.
Picturing that guy as her boss in Ally McBeal.
No, it's
He's
a
like-
season of evil.
Maybe on that, he's like,
My grandmother wanted to have tea with me, so I had tea with her. And she never appeared again.
Great.
It's actually even funnier picturing Vigo. This
great.
towering presence. It's like, how do I make the dancing baby go away?
Domineering, just doom-filled presence.
Dick. Yes, he was in the Bean movie. Yeah, he was great in the Bean movie. It was very funny in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Showed like just what a great comedic actor he is. I always felt like he should have got more comedy roles. Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph! Oh, God, what have you done? He sees how being fixed
Now
the painting.
I'm just imagining various things that Vigo could go into that makes it funnier. Like, I'm sorry.
Vigo the
I got
Vigoian.
Vigo the Carpathian.
Thank you. I couldn't remember. It was something
He is
Athean.
the Vigoist Vigo that ever Vigoed.
Vigo the vegetarian.
Vigo the
whatever.
vegetarian.
Oh, eat your broccoli. oh God. Okay.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to cover this week, folks. We should probably get down to it. We got a bunch of trailers and movies, and we watched a shit ton of movies. I don't have any pickups, so that's at least something.
Me either.
Excellent.
It'll be ASMR movie talk.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Probably.
So basically, I'm the only one's pickups then. Me
Excellent.
and probably. Do you have any, Quack?
Nothing really worth showing off. Well,
You should hold yours for
one thing.
One
You
thing.
should hold yours.
Okay.
You should hold yours till next week.
I think I have
What?
more. I just are
Why
not
don't you-
around.
Why don't you just hold yours till next week, Stout, and then we'll just skip the pickups.
Do you have a lot, Stout?
I have 12. So yeah, that makes sense actually.
All
We'll
right.
just wait till next week. I should have a few things.
I should
Because
have.
otherwise, it's gonna take long
I
for
will.
everything.
I will have at least one. The pre-order that I'm waiting for, and then hopefully my hammer set will finally have come in, and I can show that as well.
Yeah,
So.
I have that in the mail at some point too. Someday.
Problem with the
I'm
family.
guessing the power outage in Texas had a lot of problems.
No, I don't know where specifically it was coming from, but I mean, I
The
ordered it.
entire chain gets disrupted. So.
I ordered it in January, like January 6th. It's coming up on 2 months since I ordered it. Like
Jesus.
I ordered other stuff at the same time. It was leftover money from Christmas, and
Damn.
so a few presents to myself.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And all of the other things have arrived. Some of them even came from the UK. Like, they traveled halfway around the world to get to me, and got to me faster than whoever this seller is, who's just straight south of me. Maybe a little to the left. I don't know, but anyway.
Back and to the left.
Back and to the left. We love you too, Ryan. You're the bestest. Is Ryan in first place? Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, he actually beat Smeghound. Crazy. You gotta have some serious chutzpah to beat the Smeghound.
Oh my God, there's more.
1992
Good
bits.
dude.
It was an excellent year. That was the year most of my retro videos recently have been from.
I heard that one.
Meaty. He had some good.
Casual about it. You're just like.
You had some good resonance off the back wall there. That was great. Just kind of bounced back.
Base.
Bassy. Excellent.
I'll never forget the time my friend farted so hard that he vibrated out of his seat. Now, mind you, he was on a wooden chair on a linoleum floor, and he,
Oh,
he
God.
farted. It just went like. Oh, fantastic.
Wow. That's amazing. All right, let's start with the news here. Here we go. News. Trailers. We got a bunch of trailers this week. I think I watched some of them. Official trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Everybody's talking about this. I haven't actually watched the new trailer yet. I watched the one from a few months ago. Determined to ensure Superman's ultimate sacrifice was not in vain, Bruce Wayne aligns forces with Diana Prince with plans to recruit a team of meta-humans to protect the world from an approaching threat of catastrophic proportions. The 4-hour epic... The 4-hour epic will premiere on HBO Max on March 18th and will stream for a 30-day period. And I assume there will be a Blu-ray at some point. Official trailer. This one actually looks really good. Official trailer for the next round of Mortal Kombat. MMA fighter Cole Young seeks out Earth's greatest champions.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, just whip it out there, Quack.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Lay that Kubasa on the table. Show us what you got.
Just for what's really loud.
MMA fighter
Well, these
Cole...
headphones are.
Yes. MMA fighter Cole Young seeks out Earth's greatest champions in order to stand against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. The film will be released in select theaters and HBO Max simultaneously on April 16th for a 30-day period. There damn well better be a Blu-ray of that. Official trailer for the live-action... Holy shit, Ryan. Official trailer for the live-action Disney prequel Cruella. I haven't looked at this. I heard it actually looks pretty good. Premiering in select theaters on May 28th. In 1970s London, young fashion designer Estella DeVille becomes obsessed with dogs' skins, especially Dalmatians, until she eventually becomes a ruthless and terrifying legend known as Cruella. Starring Emma Stone. They could have done that as like a horror movie. Like, Jesus. Starring Emma Stone as the title character and directed by Craig Gillespie, whose previous works include the 2011 remake of Fright Night and 2017's I, Tonya, which apparently has an absolutely stunning performance by Margot Robbie. It's on my Netflix watch list. I haven't got around to it yet.
I need to see it.
Yeah, I really want to
I
check
don't have
it
it
out.
streaming here.
Official trailer for the Netflix original documentary Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell, premiering March 1st. This documentary features rare footage filmed by Christopher Wallace's best friend, Damian D-Rock Butler, and interviews with his closest friends and families, revealing a side of Biggie Smalls that the world never knew. Interesting.
Cool.
Official trailer for the second season of the Shudder original series Creep Show, premiering April 1st. The series has also been renewed for a third season. Very cool.
Yep.
I really want
That's
to
awesome.
get the Blu-ray of the first season. See, Shudder puts their stuff on Blu-ray. If you noticed that, a lot of their originals.
Yeah.
Host is out. I've got it sitting in my cart. I want to get it.
I absolutely adore Shudder. I highly recommend it. It's my favorite streaming service.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
the one I would keep if I had to get rid of anything. I would get everything. I'd still try to keep Shudder.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the Joe Bob stuff, especially.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, that's really good stuff.
I will likely subscribe at some point.
The Love Witch is on there right now, and it's so beautiful. Such a beautiful film. It's so good. Like, gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at.
What is?
The Love Witch?
Oh, the Love Witch. Oh, yeah, that's that one that has that 70s aesthetic. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that.
It's
Yeah,
like a 60s Russ Meyer type feel to it. Like,
nice.
oh, it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
It nails the aesthetic perfectly.
that's what I've heard. I've seen some stills from it. It looks amazing. I actually thought it was a 70s film until I read up about it. I was
Yeah,
like,
I know,
oh,
right? Yeah.
What the hell? Really? That's
Joe-
awesome.
It's shot on actual celluloid and everything.
Nice. I'll have to check that out.
Joe Bob did it for the latest marathon. He did Tammy and the T-Rex and Love Witch, which is a great double bill, by the way.
Interesting. Okay. This one I did watch just because it got such huge reactions in the Discord. Official trailer for the sleep paralysis horror Come True. A teenage runaway takes part in a sleep study that becomes a nightmarish descent into the depths of her mind and a frightening examination of the power of dreams. This one actually looks really good.
Yes, and if you have sleep paralysis, do not watch the trailer. Do not watch the movie.
Well,
You know,
Same as you
Yeah.
wouldn't watch there either.
yeah, because it could be triggering,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much every horror is going to be triggering in some respect to some people.
No, but I mean like that.
Oh my god. That I can just make all of them like $10, like
That's $5.
the entire. That's $5.
Like, you
Yeah,
hear
that's
that?
true. Yeah. Oh, we heard it.
Make your,
Thanks,
you should
Al.
make your minimum bit. You should make your minimum bit $1, and then you'll like stop the 1-bit spam.
Well, yeah.
Or a rule: you can only spam. You can only spam in $1 increments if you make it actually rain.
I
Yeah.
say enjoy and appreciate the 1-bit spam.
Oh,
Well,
I don't give a shit myself.
it's, I mean, it's all money, right? It all adds up. But
Ka-ching,
yeah.
ka-ching, ka-ching,
I can't be
ka-ching.
bothered to find the setting for that right now. Anyway,
Yeah, it's somewhere.
carrying on. Oh, this is another one I really want to see. Actually, looks like fun. Official trailer for the sci-fi anthology film Doors. The film follows individuals from all walks of life as they come together to make sense of mysterious alien doors that suddenly appear around the globe. And they're sentient, too. The doors can talk to you. Starring Josh Peck of Drake and Josh fame. Did you hear that, JL? In one of the leading roles. The film was co-produced by our good friends at Bloody Disgusting. Awesome. I'm so glad they're getting into stuff like that. That's awesome. And yeah, it looks like fun.
The Drake and Josh meme.
I watched.
All the time.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my
where's the
God.
door hole? Where's the door hole?
There's a fucking sword.
I wonder.
Oh, no.
I wonder if that's why they cast him in it, just as a little inside joke.
No.
Oh my God.
Where's the
bitch.
door hole? Yeah. Let's see. Official trailer for the AMC original series Kevin Can Fuck Himself, premiering summer 2021.
Wait, where is that gonna be at?
Immediately on the title
AMC.
Oh, AMC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Says this is a story about a woman who keeps playing a perfect housewife. Then one day she realizes what she wants: to kill her husband. Featuring Annie Murphy, Emmy-winning actress from the series Schitt's Creek, in the leading role. Very
Amazing.
nice.
I'm sold so hard right now.
So what are you going to the theater to see?
Teaser trailer for the Netflix original anime series Dota Dragon's Blood, premiering March 25th. I saw some stills from this. It looks stunning. A conflicted yet courageous dragon knight must use the power of the dragon within to stop a deadly demon in this epic fantasy based on the online game. Created by Ashley Miller, who's previously co-written 2011's Thor and X-Men First Class, and as the writer of Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Very nice. That's some good credentials. Yeah, very cool. I'm sure that's one that Rosie will want to watch because she loves dragons.
What?
There's a new Dragon series coming out, Dota Dragon Knight, based on the RPG. It's like an anime series
video
coming
game.
to Netflix.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not really an RPG.
Well, that's whatever.
I don't.
That's you know.
What do they call those games? Brain fail.
Looks
MOBAs.
good.
They're MOBAs.
You probably want to.
Most better online battle arenas.
Oh,
Where
okay.
they're around.
Anyway. Official trailer for the HBO documentary Black Art in the Absence of Light, now streaming. Inspired by the late David Driscoll's landmark 1976 exhibition, 2 Centuries of Black American Art, the documentary offers an illuminating introduction to the work of some of the foremost black visual artists working today. Nice. That sounds awesome. Official trailer for the Prime Video adult animated series, Sold! Invincible. Premiering March 26th.
Oh my God, it looks so good.
An ordinary 17-year-old named Mark, whose father is the alien super... What are you doing, Stout? Oh, you're rocking your mullet. Okay. I thought you were like, nope, not going to watch it. Nope. I'm dizzy now. Invincible. An ordinary 17-year-old named Mark, whose father is the alien superhero Omni-Man, awakens to superpowers of his own and must learn to uphold his father's legacy. Based off the critically acclaimed comic by Robert Kirkman and featuring the voice of Stephen Yeun, Glenn from AMC's The Walking Dead, as the main character. And that is it for the big trailers this week. A movie...
I have to say about Invincible, I'm super stoked because,
We have a second one.
like, it's got such a dark turn in it. It's
Cool.
so good. Like, it's like, oh, it looks so fucking good. Oh,
All right.
a beautiful animation. Anyway,
Cool.
super stoked.
And that will be on Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime. Movie TV news. J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot is set to team with Warner Media to develop a darker reboot of DC Comics' Constantine for HBO Max. Yes, please. The character is set to be cast as a diverse lead, a young Londoner, and a departure from the one played by Matt Ryan in the NBC series, which aired for one season between 2014 and 2015. British novelist Guy Bolton has signed on to pen the pilot. Very cool.
I'm sad that Matt won't be on, but
Yes.
I'm interested.
I'm
You know.
interested because this will mean they don't have to tone it down at all.
The thing was
Actually, I
Yeah.
pulled Constantine out of the storage to watch.
Yeah, the
So
show.
that no, the original movie.
Oh, okay.
I watched. I
yeah.
hated it long ago.
Oh, I liked
It
it.
feels like
Yeah.
Constantine has like no fucking challenge. Oh, here's the opposition. Oh, I know how to fix this. It feels like he just did. I don't know. It just feels like there's no challenge for the character.
Well,
But I haven't watched it
I don't
since
know.
it came out.
I think
I know
you're
you-
seriously misremembering it. I think there's a lot of challenge for the character in there, not only
Possible.
against external forces, but with himself.
I'm gonna revisit it. Like I said,
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't think Keanu was like a great choice for Constantine, but I enjoyed the movie. Like I enjoyed the representation of the characters and the story, and yeah, I thought it was good. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. Well, I guess third take on the character. I hope it does well.
keep Matt Ryan on for the voice actor part for playing the character in the.
Matt Ryan
show.
was so good in the
Handmaid's
NBC series. The only problem with the NBC series was it was NBC, and
Hampered.
yeah, they hampered it. I mean, they pushed it as far as they could, like within the confines that they had. But you know, it would have been nice to see it on like fucking Netflix or Prime or something.
HBO or whatever, and
or
someplace where they
HBO.
can just stretch their legs, you know.
Exactly, because I mean, it's a very adult comic series, like deals with very difficult, challenging subject matter, and it's also very violent, and lots of cussing and lots of smoking and drug use and alcohol and stuff. You know, you need to have all of those elements to really get the grit of it right. You know.
It deals with people's demons as much as actual demons, you know.
Correct. Yeah, personal demons and actual demons. Paramount Pictures. Oh, this.
Sorry, I just cleared my throat.
Thank you. No, it wasn't you. There was a sound again at the same time. Anyway, Paramount Pictures. This one sounds interesting. Is making a deal with filmmaker Edgar Wright to develop to direct a new adaptation of The Running Man, the futuristic novel by Stephen King. I think it was written under the name of Richard Bachman at the time. This won't be a remake of the 1987 film that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wright will direct and co-write the story with Michael Bacall, and they will be much more faithful to King's best-selling novel. Yeah, the movie took some liberties, to say the least.
Some.
Yeah.
I like the movie.
Oh,
It's a
so do
fun
I.
movie, but
Oh, great. It's great. It's fun.
I'd like to see his new, closer take, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And also, Edgar Wright, sold, like, instantly. I'll watch anything that man does. Bacall will write the script. Bacall's previous work, including screenwriting credits on 21 and 22 Jump Street. I still got to watch 22. I loved 21.
I
It was
still have to see 22 also.
Yeah, 21 was far more fun than I was expecting it to be. I genuinely enjoyed it, yeah.
I thought it was going to suck. I was like, oh, this is actually really good.
I know. I was like, wow, this is so much better than I was expecting. And also, Bacall also wrote, or co-wrote, I guess, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So, very good. So this guy definitely knows. So I'm wondering, is this going to be a more funny take on it? Because that's a lot of comedy credit there. You know, Edgar Wright and Michael Bacall. I mean, that's a lot of comedy background. I don't know. We'll see. Legendary composer Danny Elfman is set to reunite with Sam Raimi to score the upcoming MCU film Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Oh, that'll be
very cool.
Yeah,
very
I'm
cool.
down with that.
Ooh, excuse me.
Speaking of Marvel, the live-action rights to Jessica Jones and The Punisher have expired at Netflix and have been reclaimed by Marvel Studios. So does that mean we're going to see them in the MCU now in some capacity, maybe?
Yes, probably, but also there'll probably be completely new takes with different actors.
Yeah,
And
they
also, if you've been wanting to watch the Netflix series, probably get on that real quick.
Yeah, I should probably get on that.
Those won't be there forever. I'm sure there's a limited time lease on them.
Well, absolutely, there will be.
And maybe Disney buys it back. Maybe Netflix just holds it under lock and
He's a
key
Star
and
Wars
refuses to sell it.
fan, but he doesn't even have the
just depends.
Ewok movies. Those are the best
Unbelievable.
ones. How can you
That
call
the
yourself
Marvel
a real
movies
Star
are
Wars fan
leaving
if you don't
Netflix.
have the original Ewok
Unbelievable.
movies?
Thank you, JL. Speaking of Netflix, really stoked for this one. Netflix has greenlit a solo series centered on Wednesday Addams, with industry legend Tim Burton signing on for his first foray into television. Actually, that's not true. His first foray into television was Family Dog, where he did all the character designs. But anyway, titled Wednesday, appropriately enough, the coming-of-age comedy is a sleuthing, supernaturally infused mystery charting Wednesday Addams' years as a student at Nevermore Academy. Okay, so it's like an Addams Family take on Nancy Drew, basically, with, like, gothic stuff. That's where she attempts to master her emerging psychic ability, thwart a monstrous killing spree that has terrorized the local town, and solve the supernatural mystery that embroiled her parents 25 years ago, all while navigating her new and very tangled relationships. Smallville creators Al Gough and Miles Millar will write the series and act as co-showrunners along with Burton, as well as executive produce. Cool.
I think Raptor's trying to imply it was his first time directing something for TV.
Well, okay, that's fine. Yeah, fair enough.
I think that's what he meant, but
yeah,
you were right about him working on Family Dog.
Yes. I mean, all you gotta do is look at it. It's like so Tim Burton style.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Only some screenshots. I've never actually watched it.
Oh, it's fun. It's great. Fun little slice of life comedy. The third installment of the Paddington franchise is currently in the works at Studio Canal. No writers or directors are signed on at this time. I still need to see the first two. I heard they were lots of fun.
First one I adore.
All right.
I haven't seen the second one yet, so I can't
Okay.
say it. First one I loved. It was so good.
Yeah, I remember you
I
mentioning
was having a bad day. I was like, fuck it, I watched this. I'm like, oh my god, I love this. It's so good.
that. Just what you needed.
So good.
There you
Absolutely what I needed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Bless you. Actress Sasha Calle has scored the role of Kara Zor-El / Supergirl in the big screen DC universe. She is set to make her debut in Andy Muschietti's The Flash. This is historic as the actress is the first Latina Supergirl ever in DC and was chosen from more than 425 actresses who auditioned. Muschietti's previous works include the hit two-part adaptation of Stephen King's It. Nice.
Hey, you know.
I like that adaptation.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
The other one is
The long-dormant Train to Busan remake at New Line Cinema looks to be gaining steam, as Indonesian director Timo Tjahjanto, sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong,
Probably.
is in negotiations to helm the pick based on the blockbuster South Korean hit. James Wan's production house Atomic Monster will produce the film. Gary Doberman has signed on to write the script and has previously written 4 films set in the Conjuring universe, the Annabelle trilogy, and The Nun, as well as the It duology, another It connection. Timo has previously directed a segment in 2012's The ABCs of Death and 2013's VHS 2.
Someone made a really great Twitter joke. It's like, how are we going to make Train to Busan in America where there's no like light rail like there is there? And
Yeah.
it's just like, we're going to put on the fucking Metrolink. I died. Metrolink is a Southern California like commuter train.
Okay,
And I fucking died. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, and someone else says they're gonna call it Train to Boston, aren't they? I'm
Train
like,
to
oh.
Boston.
So I'm gonna say if you're gonna do California, they could be Bart to Busan.
Bart
There
to
you go.
Busan,
God,
yeah.
Busan.
Oh, God.
There you
That's
go.
great.
Love it.
Horror streaming service Shudder. Oh, more from Shudder. Excellent. Has ordered a new anthology series showcasing black horror stories from black directors and screenwriters. Set to debut later this year on the service, the new series will feature work from established and emerging talents. Writers attached to the project include husband and wife writing duo of Tanarive Dew and Stephen Barnes, Ezra C. Daniels, Victor Laval, and Al Letson. Very cool.
I know one of the producers on that.
Oh, nice. Very good. Small world.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. During a recent interview, filmmaker Zack Snyder revealed his intentions of adapting the story of King Arthur for the big screen. Oh, cool. I'm working on something, but we'll see, he said. I've been thinking about some kind of retelling, like a real sort of faithful retelling of that Arthurian mythological concept. We'll see. Maybe that will come at some point.
To be fair, the last time it was done fully mythological was Excalibur.
Which
the
is
other ones
wonderful.
Are more historically accurate, and I don't think it's ever meant to be historical.
They're not as good. No, it's Excalibur is wonderful. Is it John
There's no
Borman?
mythical sword that anyone's gonna fucking pull from a lake. Some lady's gonna give them, all right? So,
Well, yeah, exactly.
or a stone or whatever.
Women laying around in ponds distributing swords is hardly a basis for a system of government.
Precisely. Thank you. Exactly.
I told you I was king. some moistened tart threw a scimitar at me. They put me away.
Sure. It's a watery tart, I think it was, wasn't it?
Watery
It's
tart.
a
Yeah,
watery tart. Yeah.
Terrible. It's terrible, but hilarious.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I'm interested in that. There needs to
Yeah.
be more sword and sorcery type fantasy films.
I agree.
With dragons and shit, and like
Yeah.
big budget and not fucking direct to video.
It's a genre that we've had so much like science fiction and now superhero stuff. Fantasy still seems to be something that is shied away from in terms of like getting the big, big budget, big screen treatment.
There have been a glut of like low budget ones since Dragonheart. Not even kidding you. Me and Stout are on this journey. We started with I started with shot on video films. We ran out of those.
Yeah.
And I'm moving on to the shot on digital video age of direct to video shit.
Okay.
And he's gonna hate me soon.
Excellent.
He's gonna really hate me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I look forward to the agony.
There's like 20 movies with the name Dragon on Amazon. I'm like, okay, these are good. And Netflix and Shudder. And
add
like,
all
okay.
to cart.
Yeah, I literally
those.
have.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, I had like 5 or 6 DVDs in my cart in Amazon just waiting to be purchased. That are all like shit like that.
Just excellent.
It's funny though that like every one of these movies that she's been like, "Oh, you're gonna hate me for making you watch this." It's been like, this is actually very entertaining.
Damn it!
Fair, I didn't
hate
expect
things.
Lords of Magic. I didn't expect Lords of Magic or Way Bad Stone to be so good. We are going to talk about Way Bad Stone finally tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's so fucking good. You're gonna want to go watch this. I'm just gonna
all
do
right.
shit.
Cool.
It's free on YouTube because the director uploaded it. So.
Okay, perfect. Well, I certainly enjoyed that the gamers rabbit hole you sent me down. That was fantastic. I literally
Trust me on these things.
that whole goddamn night I watched like that entire series that they did and all the spin-offs and absolutely loved it. I gotta watch some of their other
gonna
stuff.
fall down that rabbit hole. A bunch of the other series that they've done are on Amazon, and there's a bunch of other role-playing troops that have done the same thing.
Yes.
There's like 4 or 5 of them.
Oh,
on
there's
Amazon.
a bunch of them, yeah.
There's
At the
one
very
that's
least,
3 hours and 40 minutes. I'm so sorry.
at the very least, you gotta watch the sequel to the Dorkening.
I'm gonna end up going. I'm gonna watch them all. Stout. He hasn't seen any of them. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just do that, yeah.
Just start with gamers and go
just
on
make
through.
sure go to the playlist that has the extended version because it's the episodic version, but it's extended cut. About 40 minutes of additional stuff in there, which is just wonderful. It's so good. I was really blown away by it.
Will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him through the whole thing. So
Yeah.
he needs to see Darkness Rising.
I
It's on Amazon also.
I still need to watch the first one, but
the gamers. Honestly, it's the weakest.
yeah, no, the Dorkening was amazing.
I would say okay. While watching the gamers, I'm like none of these people are really likable. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just not likable characters.
Some of the same actors. I don't know if it's the same characters, but
I think they're the same. They're the same actors playing similar characters at the very least. But those are the good characters, the ones that like. Okay, you need some of these people because some of these people, these archetypes exist in role-playing games.
Yeah.
So
true.
Having some of those characters as like antagonists within the cast, since the big bad's gonna probably get dispatched really easily, the antagonists gonna do some way better.
Yeah.
Way to go about it. So actually,
sure.
like what they did with the Darkness Rising, and from then on, they had that better balance.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, we got sidetracked.
That's okay. Let's see. During a recent speaking with NME, iconic director John Carpenter says there's been talk of a potential sequel to his 1980 film The Fog. He says there's been talk of a sequel to The Fog. There's been talk of sequels for a bunch of my movies, Carpenter tells the site. They just haven't happened yet because of various reasons, he adds. But yeah, we've talked about them, and I'm open to them. Cool.
If I had $1 billion, I'd be like, we're doing Escape from Mars. Get Ice Cube, get fucking Kurt Russell.
Kurt back,
let's get this shit going. Let's go right the fuck now. I'm paying big bucks.
Kurt's apparently been saying he'd love to work with John Carpenter again, and I'm sure John Carpenter would love to work with him again. So, let's...
Oh, everyone should want to work with John Carpenter. His movies are amazing.
Yeah.
Even his worst movie is still pretty good. Like, even the worst was alright. I mean, I didn't really like it, but...
Wow. Even before a single trailer has been released, HBO Max has renewed the upcoming animated series Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai for a second season. Furthermore, actor B.D. Wong will loan his voice to the series. Very good.
That's awesome.
Much like the documentary series that accompanied The Mandalorian, Disney has announced a docuseries following the making of WandaVision. Assembled, the making of WandaVision is set to premiere on Disney Plus on March 12th. And what was it you said? I saw some tweet from you the other day, Skinslip, about people complaining that it's being put out one episode a week. You know, like a normal show. They did the same with The Mandalorian. Didn't hear you guys complaining then.
Everybody
were
loved it.
actually.
I was always complaining about all that shit.
Actually, they were.
Were they?
Complaining about that.
No.
But my point is, it's like
People who spoiled.
the problem is those people know people who spoil things. They need to get those people out of their fucking way.
Yeah,
You're a spoiler. I don't. You're not. I don't follow you. We're not.
exactly.
talking.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Or
It's
if you
not
post a
form-
spoiler, at least put the tag of the thing so
At
that
the
it
very
can be
first post,
muted,
you better say spoiler. That's all it should say at least.
or so it can
Warning,
be muted.
spoiler.
So yeah.
You know, it's that
warning,
easy.
spoiler, and put the tag in so that anybody who's muted those words to avoid spoilers won't see it. You know, it's pretty simple.
I prefer to binge my content. All right.
Well, that's fine.
Don't like to watch things 1 week at a time. I feel like that's a fucking something from the fucking 90s, from old times.
Dated
Go away
concept.
forever.
Yeah,
Well,
but I don't
see,
complain about it. I just wait patiently for the last episode to drop.
yeah, that's what I do too. It's like if it's something I can't wait to watch, maybe I'll watch it week after week. Like when Twin Peaks: The Return came out, it was one episode a week. I watched it every week because I didn't want to wait. But and to me, it was also kind of having a similar experience to how I saw it originally, watching it week after week and stuff. So it was a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of just not being able to wait. But with other things like, you know, The Mandalorian, I thought, it's only 8 episodes. I'll just wait, and then I'll watch all 8 of them, you know? And that's what I did.
Okay.
Rosie and I watched them both in 2 sittings. Watched them in 2
I waited
sittings.
till the very last episode of fucking Game of Thrones, and then I watched that whole last season in one goddamn sitting. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
that's how I prefer to do it.
There you go. So, in new premieres, the following premiered on their respective channels this week. Superman and Lois, the latest installment of the CW-verse, hit the CW. Young Rock, a look back at the younger years of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, hit NBC. And The Great North, the latest animated series from the creators of Bob's Burgers, starring Nick Offerman, hit Fox. There you
What
go.
was that called?
The Great North.
I need to see that.
Clearly, anything with Nick Offerman, I'm there.
Also, the guy who did Bob's Burgers, which is a fucking fantastic show.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe you guys haven't seen it. It's like, oh my god.
In the first 4 episodes,
Because it's time commitment. There's other shorter things I want to watch first
I didn't get around to it eventually.
to have more variety. Comic news, DC Comics announced on this week that both Tim Burton's Batman and Richard Donner's Superman the movie would continue on in comic form this July. Very stoked about this. The
I
Batman.
hope they don't invalidate. Fucking what's the fucking one Superman?
I don't know what you're
Brandon
trying to
Routh.
say.
Brandon Routh Superman. Jesus Christ, was that movie? I blanked on the title.
Superman Returns.
I hope they don't invalidates that movie because I really like the plot strings it picks up from the Donner cut. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
it's
so look
Superman
at that.
78, so it's probably just going to have, connections to the first movie, and that's it.
Yeah.
So just
Kinda
like
pretending
Batman
it-
89.
You know?
I mean,
I
Batman
get it.
89 probably elements from Batman and Batman Returns, I would think.
I'm
and
guessing
then
they learned that the Batman 66 was popular enough that they should probably keep going.
They did
Since
one.
they can't do Batman 66 anymore because it's owned by the
It's
fucking
a mess.
Fox mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're learning. Oh, well, we'll shoot the next popular ones.
Yeah.
Boom. Smart. I hope there's a fucking crossover in an annual or something. Just like, oh, please.
They also did Wonder Woman 77. So,
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
But they can keep doing that one, thankfully, and
Yeah.
that one could cross over too. Actually,
we could have a
She's
little.
close to timeless.
Could have a
So-
little mini Justice League with 89
Right.
Batman, 78 Superman, 77 Wonder Woman. Like, how fucking
90s
awesome would
Flash,
that be?
You can literally put 90s Flash.
Like, put
in
90s
there.
Flash in there. There you go. Perfect.
He comes in from the future.
Yeah.
To come first to warn them of impending dangers that's from his time, right? And then
Yep.
now you got a Justice League. Come on, that's like the coolest shit ever.
But let's get the first issues of Batman 89, Superman 78 out first, and then we'll
First
see
issue,
where it goes.
Justice League, you're like, hey. No, I get it. Yeah.
But,
I'm actually gonna probably pick that up in trade paperbacks. Honestly.
Yeah, I will also pick it up in trade paperback. At the very least, the Batman one for sure, because that's my jam right
Obviously.
there. You know.
It's like your shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, honestly, Superman was too. I mean, that was my Superman growing up. So I might at the very least pick up like the first volume of it.
He was my Superman growing up too. He's the only Superman for a long time.
Oh yeah, he was
Exactly.
definitely the best.
The best still.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Bless you.
Everyone keeps interrupting you.
perfect. Batman 89 will see original Batman screenwriter Sam Hamm team up with artist Joe Quinones to pull on a number of threads left dangling. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, I
The-
hope he
the
brings
bu-
some of the stuff from his unused script. Oh, please, sorry.
The book starring Michael Keaton's Batman promises to reintroduce Selena Kyle Catwoman, portrayed in Batman Returns by Michelle Pfeiffer, and introduce that first Burton-esque Robin. There you go. Harvey Dent, played by Billy D. Williams in Batman, will also appear in full Two-Face form. Oh, I am fucking all over this. Holy shit. DC announced that Rob Venditti and Wilfredo Torres will work together on Superman 78 to tell stories of Christopher Reeve's Superman. In Superman 78, bystanders are surprised and delighted by Superman's ability, and Lois Lane doesn't yet know that Clark Kent is secretly Superman. The sheer thrill of seeing a man fly, leap, or stop a bullet will be reflected in this environment where Superman has just been introduced. Superman 78 and Batman 89 will debut with 6 digital chapters each on July 27th. Digital? What? Digital! On July 27th, followed by new chapters of each book for 6 additional weeks. The chapters will roll out as printed comics between August and October. Fucking, they better. Then wind up in hardcover collections in times for the holidays. All right, so this is going to be a while, but actually,
Digital.
fucking digital. Hate reading comics on a screen. I hate reading any books on a screen, comics or otherwise. Give me a book in my hand. I can flip through, I can smell, I can taste, I can lick, I can kiss, I can fondle, I can just cuddle with when I sleep.
Like a Playboy.
Not that bad.
Sure.
That's weird.
Digital
Sorry.
Playboy just ain't the same. The pages don't stick together. Anyway.
Ew.
I never understood guys that do that. Like, why do you want to ruin your magazine? Like, anyway. On that note, in memoriam, some people died this week. What a terrible segue.
It's
like the
an
worst.
awful segue.
It's the worst. I'm going to hell.
Well, that's all right. You'll join some of these people.
Oh, wow. No. These are all wonderful people. We don't talk about the bad ones. Well, maybe some of them. Do we have any bad ones this week?
Yep.
Oh, it's not in the list, but I'm going to mention it. In memoriam, this week we lost Danny Ray, longtime MC and cape man for the Godfather of Soul, James Brown. Ray had held down the part for 45 years in what became an iconic part of Brown's concerts. Ray would walk on stage mid "Please, Please, Please" and drape Brown with a cape, only for the singer to explode out of the cape with a second wind.
Yeah,
Ray and Brown played off each other effortlessly, with Brown's theatrical pseudo-pains giving rise to Ray's offers of assistance, followed by Brown's burst of energy. Danny made it to the ripe old age of 85. We also lost S. Clay Wilson, underground cartoonist and central figure in the underground comics movement. Wilson attracted attention from readers with aggressively violent and sexually explicit panoramas of low-life denizens, often depicting the wild escapades of pirates and bikers. He was an early contributor to Zap Comics. Wilson's artistic audacity has been cited by Robert Crumb as a liberating source of inspiration for Crumb's own work. Very nice. We also lost Prince Marky D, rapper, songwriter, producer, and radio personality with a near 40-year career between 1982 and 2021. Morales was a member of the Fat Boys. I remember the Fat Boys. A pioneering rap group that gained fame during the 1980s. Morales was the vice president of Uncle Louie Music Group. Yeah, the Fat Boys did a wonderful little Nightmare on Elm Street parody / homage, which I adored.
I just watching Amos and Andy? I think Chucky D did a song for that too.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Sorry. I was just watching.
The Fat Boys also did some ditties with the Beach Boys.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
they did.
That's awesome, actually. I had no idea.
We also lost Leslie E. Robertson, engineer with a 6-decade-long career between 1952 and 2012. He was the lead structural engineer of the Twin Towers of the original World Trade Center in New York City and served as structural engineer on numerous other projects, including the U.S. Steel Towers in Pittsburgh, Shanghai World Financial Center, and the Bank of China Tower in Hong Kong. Leslie made it to the ripe old age of 93. We also lost Bruce Myers, quintessential West Coast artist whose invention of the Myers-Manx dune buggy in the early 1960s shaped both automotive and motorsport culture. Widely known for his creation that still provides countless enthusiasts around the world smiles for miles, Myers was also a surfer, sailor, guitar ukulele player, artist, engineer, and founding father of the entire off-road lifestyle and industry. He was inducted into the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame in 1978. Bruce made it to the ripe old age of 94. We also lost Richard Bracken, Emmy-nominated film and TV editor with a 3-decade-long career between 1972 and 2002. Over the course of his 30-year career, Bracken served as editor for a roster of television classics including Columbo, The Bold Ones, and Ironside. He spent a particularly fruitful number of years working for Oscar-nominated producer Ross Hunter, editing films The Thrill of It All and Madam X, miniseries The Money Changers, and the NBC drama A Family Upside Down, which starred Fred Astaire and Helen Hayes. Just after the turn of the new millennium, Bracken's career came to a close. He worked on various Power Rangers television series beginning in 1997, including Power Rangers Turbo and Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Richard made it to the ripe age of 90.
Wow.
And we lost Gerald Fiel, cinematographer with a 28-year career between 1963 and 1991. Fiel served as a lead cameraman and director for Africa, a 4-hour documentary that aired on ABC in 1967 and was hosted by Gregory Peck. That experience was key to his contributions in Puerto Rico as a cameraman, editor, associate producer, and cinematographer on 1963's Lord of the Flies, written and directed by Englishman Peter Brook. In the 1980s, Fiel helped refine and design camera systems, lighting, and framing techniques used in the production of 3D films, such as 1982's Friday the 13th Part 3 and 1983's Jaws 3D. In 1987, Fiel served as DP on the Hal Ashby-directed Rolling Stones concert film Let's Spend the Night Together. Gerald made it to the ripe old age of 87. And finally, last but most certainly not least, we lost Rush Limbaugh this week, and good fucking riddance! May he rot in hell. I'm going to go get
I think my
some water.
tweets perfectly encapsulate it. I don't speak ill of the dead, but I hope he burns in hell. I can't even say it with a straight face.
There was one that said, "Yeah, I won't."
I don't. He was
I won't praise his death, but I
mean
won't honor
person.
his life.
Yeah.
He was a cruel person. That's all I gotta say. I'll speak honestly.
What I said to a friend of mine, a religious friend of mine, was that what I would like to do, if it were possible, grab a bowl of popcorn, go to watch as he is called for judgment before God. Just watch as God lays out all the stupid, evil fucking shit he did. And it's like, you want mercy from me?
Hey, come on.
You want mercy from me?
Assuming a lot, but you don't assume it's anything like that.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but If he believes in the God he thinks he does, then he would be punished for what he's done.
Oh yeah.
He was iniquitous, and he contributed to other people being iniquitous and cruel.
He turned people against one another.
Yep.
He celebrated the misfortune of people he didn't like.
Yep.
I mean, we're celebrating his misfortune. We'll be judged for that, I'm sure. If that's
Oh yeah. I'm going to hell. I was always going to go to hell.
But at
I'm
the
not,
same time, it's like
I'm not a good person. I just try to be.
guy's a jackass. Yeah, it's like I'm not perfect, but this guy,
His
Piece
response.
of shit.
My response
no
to
way
it.
he's in heaven.
I'm really gassy.
Fucking way.
I'm really gassy. There you go. That's the kind of remembrance it deserves. I'm really gassy.
I'm really gassy. I've been
Yeah,
farting.
we can move on to other things since we don't have any pickups. We can just go right to like talking about what we watched.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's
Almost 2 whole pages.
Oh my god. Okay.
There's a lot of video game news.
So, hold on.
Oh yeah, video game news, right? Sorry.
So, Raptor asks, what's on the screen this week, Eric? Please tell me it's a game involving video of some sort.
It is. Shocking. Yeah, because I wasn't here last week.
Is that good old Dig Dug?
It is. It is the Famicom version of Dig Dug, since we didn't get a U.S. release of it.
I
We
have
got
Dig.
Dig Dug 2.
I played Dig Dug the most on my Apple IIc,
I will
there you go.
find it now.
along with Mr. Do. I like
I have
Mr.
it
Do.
Mr.
on the
Dude,
NES.
I like Mr. Do.
Yes, I have these
had
wonderful
Dig-
little Power Joy cartridges.
I have Dig Dug on the NES actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have a repo card, don't you?
I have a limited edition repo cart.
There you go.
Ooh.
Came with a poster and all sorts of cool shit, but where the fuck did I put the cart? I don't fucking know. Oh, here it is. Found it. My fucking room's a mess, alright?
Fine. Yes, Power Joy PJ001.
It actually plays in a regular and everything. Like,
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's literally just
Came with a full booklet, like
Nice.
just
literally
like
just
back in the
this
day,
version flashed
Right.
onto a
full
actually
color.
probably
Oh,
not
nice.
even that far. It's probably just the Famicom cartridge with a converter in it.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think it's like translated the manual was literally because this was
Yeah.
released in Japan, like he said, but
Yeah.
like that was just
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
it's just the
this would
Famicom
be-
in like in this.
As you can see, it's all written in English, and so that it's the game's in English. It's just released in
It
Japan
can't-
only.
It came with a it's limited 25 edition 25 pieces hand numbered. It came with a box and a poster which is in storage.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, Dig Dug.
Very good.
All right, so what happened in the old video game news?
Oh yes,
Video
Blizzard
games.
announcement today. That's right.
Yes, Blizzard had some stuff, and so did Nintendo.
That's true.
There was a full-on hour-long direct.
It was. It was. We
Oh
didn't.
god.
Yeah.
Okay,
Moving
here
to
we go.
There's not a huge amount.
Thank God.
So I'll go through the Blizzard stuff. The Blizzard stuff that I care about, really. I guess I know
There's
I
two
didn't
things
really-
I care about.
it's probably the two things I have on here.
The D2 and Overwatch.
No, I didn't go through any of the Overwatch stuff. So no.
Okay.
So
All right.
apparently
Okay.
The first thing I have is Diablo 2 Resurrected, Return
Oh
to Hell.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I have
One.
3 things. But
Well,
there's 2 things.
We
Buying
don't
that.
have an official exact date this year.
Online multiplayer. We can play
it's-
together, bros.
Yeah, it's gonna have online multiplayer, but the big thing for a lot of people, PC and console with cross progression.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
I
So you
mean,
can carry
could
over your
be playing on the
progress.
PC
Yeah.
and then log into your account on the PlayStation and continue where you left off.
Yeah,
Now it didn't say
that's cool.
cross-platform, unfortunately.
No, it
No.
did not say cross, but it said cross
So I
progression.
meant to buy that game
Mhm.
twice. I had 2 different people I want to play with, so it's like 2 different groups of people.
So yeah, especially for Diablo, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
For as many
And the
things-
graphics look so good.
Yeah, it's a modified
my
version
God.
of the Diablo 3 engine.
Yeah.
They just actually dumbed it down to make it more feel like Diablo 2, but just it has all the same lighting as Diablo 3. It has all stuff like that, so all the
High
flashy
quality
effects,
graphics.
high quality
it's all
graphics, all the special
oh.
effects are there, but it's more locked at that kind of farther away isometric view.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, yeah, it looks like Diablo 2, but you look at it again, you go, that looks a lot nicer.
It is a lot nicer. It looks way, way good.
So,
And that's my favorite part about it is they went back to the original animatics and the whole animation, and they
You're gonna be
recreated it frame
animatronics.
by frame. Yeah, I know. They recreated it frame by frame and with all new graphics. So like they redid the whole animation from beginning to end, but
what they were
exactly as it
also able
was.
to do,
Yeah.
is to go back to the original.
They recreated the
animation.
lighting. They recreated everything. They tried to make it as accurate as possible, but make it
Because
better
due to
looking.
a limitation
Yeah.
of size in the original Diablo 2, obviously frames of animations had to be cut.
Yeah.
So that they went back and added them back in.
Yeah.
Right. I
So
mean,
now-
they redid
now-
completely new animations, completely
Yeah,
from the ground up,
They
reanimated.
didn't, but they
Yeah.
did go back to the original file and re-add the animation cells that they had
The
removed.
stuff that it was
back
gonna be.
in.
Yeah.
So now it's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because it had to
So-
fit on one CD back then, and one 650 megabyte CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Compressed.
a lot of
Heavily compressed. There was a whole team built around compressing those files a specific way to fit them on a disc.
well, that was
Yeah.
a popular thing back then. Was
a
literally
job.
some of these companies wrote their own compression algorithms. And
They
were
still do.
insane. You know,
I mean, they still do. I mean, a lot of them. You're
Sometimes-
like, oh
sometimes
man,
you
this game's 100 gigs. Yeah, but imagine how much bigger it is.
Yeah, this is probably like a 4 terabyte project they have going.
Right?
They got
Yeah,
down
yeah.
to 100 gigs.
Yeah, right? Like, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it looks really good. And like I said, and you know me, I have not been the hugest fan of the Diablo series. Like, I liked Diablo 3. I thought that was fun. Wasn't really into Diablo 1 and 2. And I'll give Diablo 2 another shot.
I
you know.
love Diablo. I put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. Probably
my biggest complaint when I was younger was I was not smart enough to know what to do. Like, it didn't hold your hand. Like, it just
No, it didn't.
threw you into this world, and you
Yeah.
just had to figure out the fuck you were supposed to be doing.
I just
and
Den of Evil. I
for me,
can't
that
wait
was
to do that for the billionth time.
I grew up with very linear experiences, so
Mhm.
being thrown into an open world, it was an instant turn off for me. I'm just like, well, I don't know what to do.
you
I'm
just
running
got
around.
lost.
same-
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait to play with my bros. It's gonna be great.
A couple friends of mine were really into the Diablo games and just played the shit out of them, but I never played them ever. I have the second one. I got it in like a Blizzard pack of games, but I never played it.
Oh, it's so
So-
good. It's my favorite of like the style
I know.
games. I mean, there's been a bunch of games and imitators since. The only other one I loved as much was Nox. Nox was amazing.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's as much as I didn't much care for Diablo 2 back in the day, I own the original Walmart release battle chest.
One
for
of the
I have that.
one of
I have
the
that too.
one of the reasons I never played it was I didn't have a PC at the time that could play it. I just had like an old Pentium 3, and I maybe it could have played it. It wasn't very stable. It was the one that used to crash all the time. It would just lock up and freeze, and I'd have to.
Pre-patched.
Yeah.
Pre-patch. Yeah.
The what?
Yeah,
No.
that game had a lot of.
There's a patch that fixed that.
No.
There's a lot. Actually.
No. Because I tried a couple different versions of Windows on it. It was a hardware issue. I got it through the mail from a friend. I think something just got knocked,
in it.
like a hairline
Ah.
fracture and something like that. But I
Oh yeah,
tried.
it's gonna include all the expansion content from Lord Destruction. It's all included in one game.
So,
It's just-
yeah.
I seriously want them to do DLC for both the new game Diablo 4 and this game, where you can like be all the previous classes. Why can't you do that? Why? Like every couple months, just release a new one, so it's like
But
new fresh content.
To
people coming back.
clarify, it wasn't Diablo 2 that was crashing. It was my entire computer that was crashing. I never even
Oh,
attempted
gotcha.
to play
The whole thing was crashing.
I
There
did.
was
I
a
did not.
pre-patch-
I did not play Diablo 2 at all, ever.
Okay. There was a known crash bug in Diablo that got
Yeah.
fixed with a patch, with a major patch.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
So
that's-
I'm like,
the
it's
only
funny.
thing-
it's-
That's
I
fine.
guess the only thing I hope that they do remaster and like, make better or whatever and add in is the secret cow level
Mhm.
from Diablo 2.
oh yeah.
Kind of an HD cow level.
I've played
Ah.
I've played the game so much that I just don't I'm like. I'm gonna go through the story once, and then I'm just gonna grind cow levels for hours on end on stream. You're welcome. And they showed
So-
Diablo. The next one was Diablo 4, I assume, or is it StarCraft? Which one?
Neither actually.
Oh, what?
Okay,
Okay, what's your second thing? God. Okay.
Next one is the Blizzard Arcade Collection.
Oh
Oh,
yes, I
okay.
forgot about that announcement.
Yeah.
Yes, the Blizzard
Cool.
Arcade Collection got announced. That's going to have the Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing,
Yes.
and Black Thorn.
Oh, I love the Lost
With
Vikings.
some bug fixes in some cases, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
right?
they went there. They did announce that these are like ultimate editions of these
Enhanced.
games,
Nice.
enhanced.
Oh,
Fully.
I'm
I believe
yeah.
some
I'm
of them are even formatted
so
for 16:9 widescreen.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yep, they're now formatted for 16:9.
Nice.
Made the deal with you basically.
That will
Yeah.
actually really be helpful with Lost Vikings because
Yes, it will.
you'll get to see
Yeah.
a little bit more what lies ahead. But
You got a lot of Vikings in there. It's a much more rat's nest.
and a lot of
Yeah.
the other standard added fare that you find in
I
most
want the
Christmas
fucking
Card
sequel
collections.
though. God damn it!
Lost Vikings 2. Yeah, I never played
Yeah.
that. I only ever played the first one.
Just more of the same, but it's just more
Awesome.
levels.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love the
But,
first one.
It's just a rare game too.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then they talked about new Diablo 4 coming soon. I don't know if they gave a date. And the thing that pissed me off is there's no date for Overwatch 2. They showed some footage. They showed Sojourn, the new character. They showed some gameplay, like some small gameplay stuff. They talked about like the art design, how they're making all the new characters just like look different, so you'll know you're playing the new game versus the new game just based on how the characters are wearing new costumes. There's the same characters, and everyone's getting new passive character abilities. That's the big thing. So all the characters are getting a buff. Every character.
I wonder what kind of buff like Reinhardt.
I don't know. When they talked about the player versus the player P versus E PvE stuff, the player versus computer stuff,
Yeah.
where it'd be teamwork based, where you and like they're talking about like there's like these progression trees, and one of my favorite.
What I was mostly interested in was when they first announced that they were even doing an Overwatch 2 was that they were expanding the PvE content.
They're doing PvE as a whole storyline. We're finally getting lore for the game, but they have like these progression trees, and you can like my favorite one as an example is Soldier has this biotic field, which he puts a plant the thing on the ground and it heals anybody in the circle. And one thing, like he has one ability in one tree that makes it like push people away from it, so no one can enter your circle when you're standing in it. And the other one makes it so that the source of origin is attached to you. So then you run around and nothing can block. You're just disrupting things. You're just knocking things over with your shield. And they have a new physics engine, so now when you knock like a robot over, it'll knock into another robot and cause a chain reaction. So I watched this fucking soldier run through a bunch of robots, and they all just like fucking dominoes. It was good shit.
Chain died.
Yeah, no, they all got knocked down. They didn't die. They just fell over.
But,
that when you fall over,
he fought over.
Your teammates, you just blow them up because they're prone. But there's lots of cool stuff like that coming. Overwatch 2, but no date. They gave a no date, so I don't know.
Oh no, I mean that's their big cash cow. So of course they'll, make you salivate as long as they can.
I want to play it already. The thing is, the game's pretty much dead until then. It's like a fucking ghost town some days.
So anyway, next game here is just a random game I noticed. It's called Wheeled Warriors Ultimate Destruction.
What?
It's not Jason the Wheeled Warrior.
God damn it!
Damn.
All excited.
What it is actually is a Steam game. Again, they didn't give a date. It's literally Death Race 2000.
Oh, okay.
Hey. I love Death Race 2000.
It's a Death
Great
Race meets because it's a track-based racing. It's not like Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Good.
But it has Twisted Metal elements. Like they even show at the very end of the trailer, they show a ice cream truck with dual machine guns on it. I'm just like, oh wow, that's totally not Sweet Tooth's van. But that's
What
okay.
game is that called?
The game's called Wheeled Warriors Ultimate Destruction.
For what system is that coming for?
Steam. It's a PC release.
Okay.
Ooh.
There you go.
And yeah, I'm not
Immediately sold.
Not talking about when it's coming out, but yeah, it looks fun. It has obviously really great graphics, but one of the cool things about it is when you go and upgrade your vehicle, you have to manually weld the shit onto your vehicle.
Okay.
So you choose where it goes.
Yeah, you can choose where it goes and physically weld it there. So I'm like, that's actually
these people did car detailing simulator. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, that was the first vibe that it came up when they started showing race and they showed all the different stuff you could put on it. I'm like, wow, this is literally
a new company.
Death Race 2000. It's just Mad Max meets track racing meets Twisted Metal. It's fucking Death Race.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the graphics look really. It looks like Wreckfest style graphics.
It is, yeah, it is pretty high end graphics. So
It looks really good. You can, I mean, the concept that you can take this. It shows a chain gun, and you can just choose where on the roof or on the hood you want to put it. So like, you can literally make arcs of attack. You can like,
yeah.
I mean,
Then
dude,
it even
it's
shows
such a
like
cool
the
idea.
hand come out with a welding torch. It goes. Zzz.
Oh, that's so cool! I can't wait to play this actually.
So I'm kind of wondering that as you put parts on, how good you weld it has how easy it can be shot off. Or just
Oh yeah, or
okay,
you get
yeah.
damaged when you run into
so,
things. You know.
yeah. So
That's
if you
cool.
don't do a good welding job, it'll fall off on a few hits or something like that.
I'm interested. Very interested.
Mhm.
So that was that. So the Nintendo Direct happened. That's exactly how I wrote it. Nintendo Direct happened.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna run through the games and the stuff that I was interested in. One of them I'm gonna mention
Basically.
purely because I mean it was a lot of JRPGs. Holy
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, none of us play them.
I'm gonna say yeah, I don't really care.
There's some
Um,
in there, but
There's
there
some
was
good
there
ones.
was
Yeah.
What's
What-
the remaster coming? Right, one of the Mana games, or whatever.
yeah, Legends of Mana.
That's
okay.
the big
That's
notable
pretty
one.
cool.
There's Legends of Mana getting remastered.
Legends, yeah, is getting a remaster. So they did a official announcement for Splatoon 3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
Splatoon's
Splatoon
fun.
game.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't show much. They just showed more of the arena battling, but it's like set. It almost looks like the setting is more like Borderlands, and it's because it's all out in the desert and shit.
That's cool.
So I thought that was interesting.
powers upside down in the same.
But the next one is Mario Golf Super Rush.
Yes, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that one actually had me
So
really
excited.
excited because I'm a huge fan of any of the Mario Golf games. They've always been fun.
Mhm.
And this one
Me
has
too.
a full-on story mode that you can play with a Mii character and like evolve the Mii character
Basically,
and play
correct.
along. It's pretty much the game Everybody's Golf,
Okay.
except in the Mario world. And also there's a why it's called Super Rush is because there's a Mario.
What?
There's a golf rush mode,
Mhm. Okay.
and where it's literally all four characters
Ah!
golf off of one.
Ah!
Jesus.
Duncan, fire, pew pew, whistle, boom! Excellent.
Oh, you got a tip. Okay.
Thanks so much, dude.
Fair enough.
That's an
Yeah.
extra half hour for tomorrow.
That is an interruption I'm welcoming.
Yes, me. Please, more
Please.
of those.
More interruptions like that.
More
please.
interruptions. We're at 55% on the donation goal, guys. That's awesome. You're rocking it out today. That's great.
He needs to pay rent.
Yes,
the
please.
Lord needs
Keep
to
a
pay
roof
rent.
over my head. And I will play video games for your amusement.
So anyway, so it has a rush mode where all four characters are on the tee at once. They all hit the ball, and you literally have to run to the ball, and you have to get it to the hole as fast as you can. And you can like get power ups and ski and
I mean, I'm just
fire and
Mario Golf. So excited.
stuff like that. It looks chaotic.
It's an online mode, so you can
It does
play
look like an online mode.
rushing like.
We could play Mario Golf together, and that sounds like a lot of fucking fun. All right,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a good golf game.
Moving
Good
on
shit.
here, they announced Pyra and Mithra for Smash Brothers, which is characters from Xenoblade Chronicles. Whoop-de-doo.
Never
Okay.
heard of it.
I it's a Smash thing, so I have
I've
to
heard of
mention it.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Never heard of it.
I know they literally got
Popular,
like halfway
well
through
known.
the announcement for that, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. Who are these characters? What franchise is this from? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my god,
referencing all
Pyra and the other guy. Whoa!
No, it's another anime
Yeah.
girls with swords.
Yeah.
There's like
I
20
don't
of those
know.
damn things.
I don't know anything about the
Smash.
game. I know the name. I've heard the name before.
The
JRPG.
next one is they instead of talking about Breath of the Wild 2, which they said they'll talk more about later on in the year, they're gonna tide us over with Skyward Sword HD for the Switch.
Cool.
I'm pretty excited about this. Everyone else is like, that game sucks, and I'm like, I never got to
I
fucking
still-
play that game.
I bought it and still haven't played it.
Apparently, the main complaints about it were the controls, and it
And
looks like they fixed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there you
they
go.
now
Enjoy.
the complaint with the original was that you were forced to use the motion plus controls, and that was it. There's no other option.
I have the
Yeah.
collector's edition of that, and not only have and I've not played the game. I haven't put the game in the system at all, but I have put the CD in my system to rip it, so I can listen to the soundtrack.
Well, there you go.
But I
That's
have
cool.
I have that unplayed basically in my collection. I bought it and then moved.
So that was the biggest complaint, but it looks like here they have given you the motion controls now with the Joy-Cons, same as before, and but they also have button controls where they've mapped button controls to play it normally.
Like a normal.
So yeah,
Like everyone's going to anyway.
like everyone else.
Instead of having to be like,
But the one that came totally out of left field, and I had heard, gurglings about this in other places, and I had
Gurglings.
wondered,
Oh,
mostly because I've been so gassy lately.
yeah.
Satan's Revenge just tipped 666.
Nice.
Thanks, Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
I'm working with some guy named Stan.
Stan.
Sorry, it's supposed to be Satan. That's a typo.
Hail Santa. Damn it.
Ho ho ho, bitches.
Dyslexic
But,
Santa. Or dyslexic
Yeah,
Satan.
I had heard gurglings about this announcement, and yep, they officially announced it for the Switch. I know it's coming to other systems like the PS4, PS5, Series X, something like that. They're bringing back Stubbs the Zombie.
yes.
Oh,
Okay.
I know that.
Stubbs the
I was like,
Zombie
yeah.
returns from the grave, launching on modern consoles March 16th.
Wow.
Very soon.
I noticed the graphical improvements aren't great with that.
I mean,
It's
it
not
didn't. They just needed to clean it up a bit. The graphics were fucking amazing in that game.
Yeah.
I remember playing the shit out of that game when it came out and just laughing my ass off at just all the just. It's hard to explain. There's some very very of the time jokes but it was a lot of it they were joking about because the game is set in like the 40s or something like that during the bop era or something like that. So it's all of going to the soda shop and hanging out with your girl and that kind of thing. So but then there's the zombie roaming around that's just using like livers and lungs and hearts and to blow people up, and it's just you could
Kind of like
Just like in
That's
real
cool. I
life.
love Zombie back in the day. Stubbs the Zombie. Blah.
kind of
yeah,
like
Stubbs the Zombies and Rebel Without a Pulse.
I didn't know he was coming back at all, so that's awesome. That's like all
Yeah.
news to me.
That's funny.
I didn't see I didn't see the direct. I saw people just posting about what happened. So I saw these select things.
I actually sat down and watched. I had some time, so I watched.
Was there some Fire Emblem announcement?
No. They announced Samurai Warrior.
I don't know how.
Samurai Warriors 5.
Samurai Warrior 5. More specifically, going off the story of was it Nobunaga? Or Norinobu?
Nobunaga.
Yeah, Nobunaga. Like that's the main character of the new Samurai Warrior 5.
It's based on the actual history.
Oh, okay. Not the bad guy from Onimusha.
No.
Maybe I don't.
I'm not sure. It's either Nobunaga or Norinobu. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Norinobu sounds more heroic. Nobunaga I associate with pure evil.
Anyways,
Let's see. Samurai.
I remember with the fucking direct, and I'm like, well, there's been a pandemic, guys. You should be shocked they're giving you anything right now. For fuck's sake.
Yeah. What Stoud said.
But all that, like,
Dynasty War, not fucking Dynasty Warriors.
not bad with what they're giving you. Not bad.
Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Watch the lives
Oh, there
of
was-
people who are richer than you will ever be.
Oh yeah.
What is that game from?
Hold on. Experience an intense historical drama set during Japan's Sengoku period, told from the
yeah.
perspective of this era's foremost military commanders Nobunaga Oda
Okay.
and Michida Akishi. Sure.
Akeshi.
Akeshi.
Akeshi?
All right.
So it's Nobunaga. It is Nobunaga.
It is Nobunaga. Well, he was big military commander. Who
So
apparently made a bunch of pacts with demons and, was resurrected after he was killed on the field of battle. Who knew? Historical fact.
yes, attack the weak point for massive damage.
Just like, that's right. Just wait until he raises his claws and you see the soft, exposed, glowing underbelly.
Yes, we're setting the world basis off of historical facts. So here's a giant enemy crab.
I was just gonna say, yeah, yeah. Historically accurate with giant crabs, just like in history when they actually happened.
That's probably one of the greatest E3 PlayStation memes ever.
Historical accuracy.
Because they were on stage talking about how that they were setting. I forgot what game was that? It was a PS3 title.
Genji?
Was it Genji Days of the Blade?
Yeah, I think it was.
And-
It was the sequel to it, I think.
Yeah, and so it was
Yeah.
just they were talking about how
They
they were
use a giant
basing-
crab.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
basing the story off of historical accuracy
Yes,
and based
and
off
then
of
5
real.
seconds later,
Yeah, here's a giant enemy crab, and you attack its weak point for massive damage.
like literally the next segment
It
later.
was. They just panned over.
Yeah, it was so great.
And
So,
Princess.
that was it for gaming news.
All right.
Well, hold on. The
That
other
What?
game that they announced was
what? Huh?
What?
the Square Enix game, the new Square Enix game, the 2D one.
What was
news?
that?
What?
I didn't see it.
It's
Why?
like a Final Fantasy Tactics game, a new Final Fantasy Tactics game.
What?
Oh, cool.
And it looks very
What?
good.
Why?
If it was Final Fantasy or RPG or tactics
What?
or tactical RPG, I don't care. So yeah, I know what it is. I know what you're talking about, but
Final
I literally know
Fantasy
nothing about it.
Tactics,
Damn
collectible
near fell asleep
video
when they were
card
talking
game.
For 10 fucking minutes about it.
By the way, Garbage Gamer, I love your shirt.
Yes, free range human.
Free range human.
Human.
Very good.
Amazing.
So they don't keep you in a cage. That's good.
Yeah.
Your meat will be
By
much.
the way, Stout, I love
Only
your
at work.
your boxes in the background. Are you going to build a fort with those?
Your meat will be much tastier.
Yes. all natural.
All natural.
What?
Farts
Thanks,
and all.
She-Hulk. She-Hulk said Mario Golf, Speed Golf multiplayer sounds fun. And then 100 bits. Thank you.
It'll be good.
Appreciate
Mario
the
Golf,
bits.
Speed Golf. Yes. Yeah, if anyone has a chance, go check out the trailer for the new Mario Golf game. And
Yeah.
that you'll see that Speed Golf, you'll be like, oh my god, yeah, that looks like so much fuckery can happen from that.
I can't wait to play this, my
Hopefully with
friend.
some online.
Like imagine a
capabilities.
situation that you've had a couple bad shots, everyone else is on the green, and you find the equivalent to the blue shell that literally just goes and just nukes the green as everyone's trying to put it into the hole.
You son of a bitch.
Which is I saw that in the trailer. I don't know what the item was that the person picked up, but all I saw was the flag, the green, and a giant blue explosion. Like, oh, that's not good.
The flag, the green, the giant blue explosion. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, there's other power-ups you can get that, like you can get an ice power-up that allows you to skate along the ground. You can get the fire flower and you can shoot the other enemies. And you can just ways,
Online multiplayer.
just ways to fuck up the other person.
Excellent.
The only thing I care about is online multiplayer. You can play with your friends. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I care about.
Does it have a single-player campaign mode, so I don't have to play with
Yes,
my friends?
yeah.
It has,
Yeah,
an
okay,
Story
entire,
mode.
Good.
yeah, it has an entire me-based adventure and story and adventure mode.
But like when you play
Excellent.
online with your friends, you're just playing golf with your friends. It's just like
Yeah.
Oh.
it's not like we're like it's not. You can literally turn off the rules and just playing golf if you want
That's
to.
probably literally the only way I would ever play it, honestly. I'm not much into golf
Am I the only
games.
person that wants like an HD remake of Cyber Tiger? Anybody remember
Never
that?
heard of
I don't even
it?
know what that is.
No.
It's a
So I have to say yes, you are.
That answers my question. No, it's a N64 golf game,
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Woods golf game, but it was goofy like Mario, like the Mario golf games.
Oh, cool.
Okay. The
So it
hell
What
is
system was that for?
N64.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out for that one.
Is Quack playing a tiger game
I was just-
over there?
That's what it sounded like.
So it sounded like,
Tamagotchi. I think Tamagotchi just got born.
yeah.
No, it's some stupid like clock in the kitchen that goes off at midnight every day.
Oh.
God damn.
So it's like the old VCR flashing 12 o'clock. You just don't know how to change it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, so you just put like black electrical tape over the
yeah.
over it and move on with your life.
Uh-huh. Burn out all the LEDs from the confined heat.
You know, I mentioned that mostly because I've been to many thrift stores and I've seen many VCRs with random black pieces of electrical tape over the front.
Oh my god. It's not complicated, people.
No, I don't know where that came from. The whole idea of setting the VCR being the most like mind-bendingly fucking difficult thing to do. Like,
Push menu. Go to clock. Set time. It's pretty easy.
and some of them you could do it without a TV. You could just plug it in.
Yes.
Clock.
Look,
set
They're the same
time.
people. They're the same people who like using computers like a foreign language. Like I don't understand you.
Yeah.
Trying to explain to go to my computer. Like I'm on my computer.
Yes. What kind of computer you have? And don't tell me a white one.
Well, and
A
then
long pause.
reminds me of a friend of mine trying to.
Great.
It reminds me of a friend of mine trying to explain to a person the importance of saving their work. You know, they could document or whatever. It's like, okay, so when you were done, did you save it? Yeah, I saved it. Okay, where did you save it? I saved it. It's like, yeah, but where did you save it? I don't know. I just clicked save. The concept of you save it in a folder to retrieve later is it's like they just have this idea that you magically saved it and it's saved somehow, and it's like, or like
that.
it's like, okay, move the mouse up, okay. No, put it down. Put it down. Okay, now move it up. Okay. Like, it's not. Do you see the pointer on the screen?
Forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Ask them, does the computer see the printer? I don't know. It's sitting under the desk.
Hold on, I'll turn the monitor so it's facing the printer. Okay, I can see it now.
Oh Lord.
But I mean, like
Are
It's
we
those
just like
people
gonna
that feel like-
be randomly venting our IT frustrations?
I know. Reminds me, I gotta
Pretty
watch
much.
more. I gotta watch more of the IT crowd. They actually did a new season just a couple of years ago. So,
They did.
Yeah, I need to. I've only seen the first season. Loved it.
God, when the boss just walks out the window is just like my scene for life half the time. Just
Well, I love the
You know?
fire.
walk,
when
pop
someone
out.
doesn't get your movie reference, you walk out the window.
Yeah.
or just anything, you're just like,
Oh, is that where that's from? I don't know if I've seen that episode.
Fuck.
I know the
Yeah,
I know the meme you're talking about.
yeah, it's one of the scenes. It's they're in like a boardroom and
Yeah, yeah.
he's being... Damn clock.
It sounds like one of those
Yeah.
Tiger Games
Fucking
things, you know. And
It
thank
is-
you,
I don't
Major
know-
Matoko. Ah, I got some love there. I got some, hey, how's it going? Coochie coo. So cute.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were
Oh, he's
talking about
gone.
in the
Okay.
scene, but it has something to do with like money laundering or something. He
No.
didn't know what was going on or something like that, so he goes, okay, he'll take care of it, and he just turns around, walks, and hops out the window.
Yeah. He's gonna go to jail. That's why.
Yeah.
They were gonna. Yeah, that's right. They
Yeah.
were gonna arrest him.
It's like, well, bye.
Then I think it cuts away to a scene from lower down, and you just see him fly past the window.
Oh my God! Duncan says I had a user come up to me at work who had lost 3 hours of work because Windows 10 had rebooted to install updates. He had not saved once, and he turned off autosave using the button in the corner because he said it was annoying. Well, I'm sorry, sir. You're fucked because you are an idiot.
I would probably just laugh at that person.
That's an ID10T error. What you got there? Or possibly a PEBCAC.
I was just gonna say maybe a pepcac.
Hey, thanks, Stratomaster. I'm being eaten by a shark. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, it's fine. I'm okay. Ow. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. I'm fine. This feels good. It's kind of massaging. Ow, ow, ow. Okay.
Yeah, for people that are wondering,
Good.
pepcac is PEB.
Problem exists between keyboard and computer.
Keyboard and chair.
Or in chair.
chair,
That's what it
or-
was. In chair. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. PEBCAC.
PEBCAC.
Yeah. Problem exists between
Hola,
keyboard and chair.
fuckers.
I.e. the user.
Yeah. A lot of ID10T errors, though. Very common error. For those who need a visual reference, ID10T.
I fucking love that one.
There you go.
When you say it, you're like, ooh, that sounds. You just tell them, write it out.
Yes.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Because you'll hear click, 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 click. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yes, you did, Ryan, and thank you. Bless your little heart. I appreciate it. Even the trolly ones.
It smells dumb.
Really need to save for fucking mulch.
What is that? Oh, it's computer speak for dumb.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It spells dumb.
Mud
So we don't have pickups. We have 8 billion movies to get through, apparently.
37.
90,
Because my power went out right as we fucking
97% of which are skin slips.
we got one fucking movie in. We talked about the caller, and then my power cut out. Out for 12 hours. 13
Oh, that's
hours.
right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stout and I just hung and
hour
waited.
till the end.
We waited for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, just chatted about whatever, and then it's like.
Yeah.
My phone didn't even have phone service for like 20 minutes.
I was just thinking, like, imagine if we had waited the entire time. We would have had like a 15-hour-long SNI.
Oh my god. All right.
We're waiting until Skinslip comes back. God damn it. Again?
Oh god, it's
Learn how your oven works.
4 minutes. Every 4 minutes it's going off.
I finally heard what it was playing.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Ah!
Even Quack Jr. hates it. Fix it, Daddy.
God.
Fix it.
Make it stop making noise. Make the baby stop.
Oh,
God.
I just want to help the baby. Hi, baby. It's my parental instinct. I hear a baby crying. It's like, oh, I gotta help the baby. What's wrong? Save the baby. Make baby happy.
Make the baby happy.
Yes.
Yeah, we got 2 movies in. Last time I talked about Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, and then we talked in depth about the caller because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And we said literally.
Aw, we love you, Quack Jr.
Pluto goes, plot twist, the baby sounds are just a clock.
It was actually the baby the whole time. Oh, dear.
Derailed by an infant here.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard. And
I
life,
like this chord.
life is like that. No, that's a real baby, Andrew. Quack is a daddy.
I
He's
wish
a
I
baby
could
dad.
mute him. I wish I could mute him.
I know we can't.
Oh.
We can't mute him.
Ah.
We just have to put up with it. Having been a parent, I have no sympathy because I've lived this. I know what this life is like. There we
You're
go.
like, how do I
It's
blow a
calming
raspberry
down.
through the chat?
There we go.
There we go.
Found it.
Of course,
Stout found the
Stout
baby
has, like, the
face.
creepiest looking baby picture you can.
It is, like.
Twitch. Everybody knows this.
Hog baby over here.
Do you miss your privacy? I like living. Who, me? I'm fine. I mean, yeah, a little bit, sure, but whatever. I still get my privacy. I mean, Rosie retreats into her room and chats with her friends on her computer. And
Doors
stuff,
exist. I mean,
yes,
Jesus.
doors exist, and alone time is respected. So
It's not like they're in one bedroom or anything.
No, it's a
That was,
2-bedroom.
years ago.
We both got our own rooms, so
That
that's
was a
fine.
long time ago when they had the 1 bedroom when she was only there for.
Well, she was
weekend
also
something,
a lot younger.
Yeah.
We had she still had like her toddler bed.
Yeah, I remember
she
that.
hadn't like hit her big growth spurts yet. But yep. Your pockets are empty. Thank you for blowing your wad on me, Ryan. Blowing your wad all
Love you,
over.
Ryan.
Absolutely. Interesting side note, actually. Speaking of Ryan Chataway, as you guys know, I've been posting the last of the live stream archives on Thursdays. The episode that posted this week was actually apparently Ryan Chataway's first ever appearance on SNI. So
I think he'd been in the. Yeah, maybe.
I think he'd been
he'd been
in the chat, I'm sure, but
for a while. Yeah.
But it was the first time he actually appeared on camera with everybody and
I was gonna say,
joined the
the
show.
picture, the still that was shared in Cram
I'm just
chat.
talking to Ryan.
Well, the only thing, the first thing I saw was a picture of Alex's gut.
Yeah, that's when I was.
Everyone was like, "Is that Alex?" I'm like, yeah.
I think
okay.
that was when I was staying at Alex's house.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was that before or after?
Before Austin.
Yeah, it was before. It was before Austin. I remember that.
I was gonna say that was the time you got. I'll never forget it.
The drunkest I've ever been. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
remember
drunkest you've ever
that.
been,
That
and
was
you
hilarious.
Almost tripped over him with a bowl of Cheeto.
You were
Puffs.
just falling
Funny
all
is,
over him.
I don't feel drunk here,
Yeah.
but I notice I can't stand well.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm on a ship. I'm like, wee, wee. And so I came to that door, and I guess I was leaning too far forward, and I just literally just kept doing the drunk lean, and
But I remember
you don't write yourself. And
this is the whole nobody control you like your friends scenario. So Skinslip got in trouble for being too loud late at night, and it was respectfully asked to keep it down after a certain time. So of course, as soon as that particular time hit, everybody in the chat would just do everything they could to try to make her laugh.
this fucking asshole.
Be like turning inside out, like.
Literally like screaming with
trying-
pillow at some point.
I know,
Like,
he's trying so hard not to laugh.
motherfuckers.
It was
beautiful.
glorious.
These motherfuckers over
Good
here.
old
Oh god, I want to do movies.
So funny.
Anyway, so I'm gonna head out before you start doing your welcome movies.
Okay.
Okay, love you, dear garbage. Have
right.
a good time, and hope work doesn't kill you.
Yeah, I hope
Make
you have a
very
good week
crazy
this
or
week,
anything.
dude. We missed you last week.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
we
Be
missed you last 2
kind
weeks.
to
We
our
jumped 2 weeks.
garbage so it doesn't wear him out so he can't play with
doesn't-
us.
It doesn't feel like the same show without you, my friend.
Of
it really
course.
doesn't.
It really doesn't. We're like
Like
this.
the
We're like
week you weren't there, I was like, "Where's garbage?"
we're
what
like
fuck?
the Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Kirk, I guess, because like we have the
Yeah, no,
we have the
garbage is totally Bones. He's Bones. He's a curmudgeon.
well, that's who McCoy is.
Oh,
But,
sorry.
Anyway, it's that kind of connection. You need the whole ensemble, otherwise
Yeah.
it just feels off.
It's a
you know?
Fantastic
Go away.
Four.
You named
Fantastic
them off,
Four, there you
I'm
go.
Like, who's left? Red shirts. I'm like, fuck.
And Sean is totally Johnny Storm. He's the hothead.
Yes,
And
Stout is
I'm
definitely.
clearly. What?
Stout is definitely thing.
Oh, I was gonna say I was a thing, but I
Okay.
have a temper also.
Well,
We
yeah,
always get
that's
into
true.
fights,
Actually,
but-
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
And then Stout, I thought
And
he
troll
was doing
each other.
fantastic since he's always trying to like calm us the fuck down. And,
Yes. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
leaves. So then garbage is the invisible woman. There you go. Perfect. and he's
yay.
about to turn invisible. So there you go.
Yeah, 'cause I just out I'm the invisible woman because I just randomly
You
disappeared.
didn't.
That's right.
Okay.
I know. I'm the penguins from Madagascar.
Yeah, exactly.
You
like-
didn't see anything. Anyway.
Is that supposed to hypnotize you?
Nah.
No, it's supposed to give you a splitting headache. Welcome back,
See
Quack. Heard Quack Jr. having some little issues there. We enjoyed
Oh, yeah,
listening on
he's
the.
just up eating.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize my microphone was in. Or
Yeah.
I forgot to mute myself.
Was
It's not
in
like Discord. We can't mute you. So we're like,
blazingly
"Ah."
loud mode, so we heard the baby just like screaming in all our ears.
Wailing.
It was so loud. Nothing we could do but suffer.
People were asking in the chat, is
I'll have to
that
watch
is that
it
a
back.
is that a sound effect or an actual baby? I'm like, no, that's
Actual baby.
that's the real deal.
That's right.
I know it's hard to believe,
Well-
but babies actually sound like babies.
Quack's got like a wife and everything. So
I know
like,
he's
you
got
know,
like a whole life going on
He's like
over there.
he's like
It's
a
great.
successful. He's a whole successful ass adult.
I know.
He's the odd man out in this whole
I'm
situation.
all
That's right.
Jesus Christ.
Hangs out with us losers.
Thank you, JL. Yes, out of all of us,
Anyway.
Quack is definitely the one who has adulted most successfully in life.
Yeah.
It's not something to
Sean-
brag about.
He just
Okay,
hangs out with us.
Sean's a close runner-up
He just
here.
hangs out with us to keep things real and keep himself humble, and to really
That's right.
appreciate what he has when he looks at us and realizes how it could have gone.
No, honestly, it's mostly for us to be like, look, it's a normal person.
I know, see, normal
I'm
person
really
over
envious
there.
I'm very envious of Quack's Masters of the Universe collection right now.
Ah, yeah.
He bought, he got the big old castles
What?
and
A
everything,
duo?
and it's like, oh,
Good job.
God.
Who are you playing with?
And Snake Mountain.
Ryan's like, I've adulted.
You're not in the chat right now.
You're not in the
video
chat,
I've adulted. Yeah, Ryan's adulted too.
Ryan's also the other one who's done adulting successfully.
He has. They somehow found the balance between work and play, but we just like to play too much.
Yeah, Bluto's another one who actually is adulting really well. Also,
He is. Yeah, he is.
the
Luke.
rest of us are like, we do this still. So
Luke, disgusting adults. Actually,
Garbage is
you,
almost adult. He's on his way.
You've been adulting pretty well too, Luke.
Hold
I'm,
on, fucker.
I'm
Razor
running a
wire
nice
Ryan.
solid fourth place.
Of
here.
Razor Wire reviews on YouTube.
Hey,
No, the three actual adults, and then me,
You're-
'cause, you know,
you're-
I have a 9 to 5.
Yes.
That's really about
And
it.
greetings, Jay Naylor. Thanks for the bits, dude. Welcome to the party.
it's like you're doing your dues, yeah. That's how it goes.
We're getting there. We're all getting
How you
there in
level
our
up.
own special and unique ways.
We're on adventures and leveling up.
As
you
of
know?
the
Don't
spring,
take
I
it
should
as-
be in
I
slightly
was
better
as
shape.
Lewis Black would say,
I
you
have
are all
plans.
my gentle snowflakes.
I gotta go back now.
Well, thank
Anyway,
you,
good night.
007.
Good night, everybody.
Right.
Good night.
Hi.
Whoa.
You're gonna have such lovely straight teeth, Quack.
Well, I did have braces once before back in high school.
Did you? Yes,
And
so did I.
then they give you that retainer to wear, and
Mm.
I don't remember wearing it in college. So
Oh, so you
my
just
teeth, you know, they didn't shift too much, but
let them all drift.
my orthodontist is actually a good family friend, so I got an extremely good deal where the cost definitely made it worth it.
Oh, that's good.
I think I'm a lost cause when it comes to that. I think my teeth, like the upper row, are just, and the fucking lower row is like, eh. Oh, it's like this.
See, like I don't ever remember having an over or under bite. My teeth just hit like right.
Oh,
In the
it
middle.
just right in the They
Yeah.
should be a little over. Normally. All right, well, I'm gonna go smoke. I'll be back.
Of course you
Oh,
are.
I think got him.
Says 007.
Son of a
Quack.
bitch.
Quack has a good jawline. Masculine, yes. 007 admires
Squeeze my
exemplary manliness.
Please. Where's the hand?
Oh, can I get over there first?
The hand.
What the hell?
Squeeze it.
So what about Quack Jr.?
Oh, he's just got up, needed food.
Oh.
Baby. So they were trying to talk, and it's just like baby screaming.
We're listening to her.
Like, we'll just wait a few minutes.
He should have muted his mic.
And hello, Quack.
You're one to talk.
Hi, I know. Yeah, I saw that trailer for that. Oh, what the hell's it called? I mentioned it earlier.
Ponds, right?
Life After the Navigator.
Ponds.
Oh
Did you see
yeah,
that trailer?
I
It looks
haven't
really
seen the
good.
trailer, I heard about it though.
And Luke did a really good review of it, and another guy I follow did.
I would like to see that.
I would like to order it because it's in the UK.
It's only in the UK?
What's that?
Are you saying it's only in the UK?
Well, no, I mean whoever made it, they made it over there, but I think it's region free. So.
What's region
And they're
free?
actually Life After the Navigator.
Oh right, I saw. There's two things. There's the Life After Flash is on the limited edition Flash Gordon release, so you can buy that. But it doesn't have all those special features that the that standalone release has. Razorwire Ryan actually just did a video on Life After Navigator, which is how I just found out about it 5 days ago. I mean, like.
Yeah. And
I had no idea.
Apparently they're making a Life After Atreyu, which I think would be awesome.
It's on hold because of COVID, but yes. I was on the webpage yesterday. It's literally, he did a video, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Before I even looked at the video, I went to their website, and I was like, oh, it's the lady director's website, and they like, they talked about 3 movies. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I went and watched part of Reiner's video, still half watched. Hey, Razorwire, he's here. Look, I gave him a shout and everything.
Did Rosie just say, fuck you?
Probably.
Yeah.
She's a fucking teenager. Whatever.
Wow.
Well, fuck you.
Who do you think she gets it from?
Yeah.
Exactly. Hanging out with this crowd.
It's actually true. Aw, you know what, Ryan? You say you regret that, but I bet you she loved the fact that somebody had a passionate enough response to her work to like write her. Okay, like honestly, you would be surprised how many few people send positive notes that are that long. Okay. Usually, what you do is you get a long response, you read it, and halfway through, there's like a backhanded compliment. You're like, oh, this person's actually telling me their work isn't that my work's that not great. But like things like that. So the fact that you even like sent a long positive message probably meant a lot to her, actually. You'd be surprised, especially for she replied.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what rules, and then I remembered. Oh yeah.
It's that
What
time
rules?
of year.
Oh yeah.
I can't even get fucking 2 movies. Well, I got 2 movies in this week, but like, I can't even get 3 movies in a. I got so much fucking work.
Dude, we watched 8 hours of fucking of true crime docs. To be fair,
Oh yeah. Well,
could have been 5 movies.
other
we
than
watched
that, I get that one day that I take off, and then I find that by the next day, my boss in one of my jobs is like, "Where did you go? What happened to you? Why aren't you doing any work?" And I'm like,
Sunday just made you off. That's why.
Well, see, I have 2 jobs currently. One of them is paying better than the other, and you're not it.
You have like a work email. You have work email separate from your regular email, so like you can go check your emails without having to worry about work.
Yeah, I don't do that.
All right, let's talk about the billions of things we watched. Movies. And true crime
Okay.
documentaries.
So, there's this movie shot on video from 1991. It was directed. It was directed by a student from Florida State University, along with crew members from the New University of Florida, whatever. Can't remember the title. I apologize, alumni. Anyway, then it also used members from 3 different theater troupes and a Ren Fair troupe, and they
I swear
all
we talked
went.
about this.
We only started to when the power went
Okay.
out, and they all went
Yes.
out into the fucking woods and shit, the Florida wilds, and filmed this amazing movie about 2 groups of barbarian thieves chasing after the stone. One group is trying to steal it because it's valuable, and the other one's trying to get it back. And then there's also a wizard, and like the last 30 minutes is just like crazy video effects, like magic fights and like
Okay.
endless gore, and it's quite remarkable what they did. It's really gory. The magical effects are like we're doing a quick route review here. We started going way more in depth last week.
Sure.
But it's made with $3,000 on a camcorder and these people's costumes, and it's amazing. It's really fucking entertaining. So good.
Okay.
I genuinely thought this was gonna be a bad movie, and I enjoyed the fuck out of this. I want a release of this so badly.
I think what I like the most about these movies is that you can't really predict what's going to happen at the end.
That's good.
Nope.
Like so
like
far,
that.
I've been wrong about all my predictions about these movies.
Excellent.
It's like
That's
you're
good.
always expecting it to follow the same basic, obvious fucking plot line as every other movie you've ever seen,
But no.
and then in every case, it's like it's going along a similar plot line to what you would expect,
Mm-hmm.
and then it ends up somewhere completely different. It's like,
Now for something completely different.
okay, then.
Cool.
Okay. Then we watched True Lies, which I think Stoudman did talk about, but I wasn't
Yes,
here for that.
he did briefly. Yeah.
This is the first time I'd watched it in 15 years easily.
Oh, it's probably been even longer for me. Holy shit.
DVD was the last time I watched it, and before that was TV. So like,
Laserdisc for me.
but I watched it. It was on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, because it wasn't like the biggest box office success for Cameron. It wasn't a bomb, but like it was cheap enough that it was able to be bought for TV. So we had a lot. It was on TV a lot. I think it was a middling success film. I can't remember. Someone will probably correct me. Anyway, then we watched this mockumentary called Operation Avalanche. Justin, what do you remember about that one?
Nothing.
You don't
Okay,
remember
then.
about this? There was a documentary crew, and they
I
were
have a very bad
documenting
memory.
part of like
Remind me.
NASA, and one of the guys was like
Oh,
working
yeah.
for the CIA or whatever, and so they concocted the plan.
Yeah, I remember this now.
They-
I remember this.
They're
yeah.
like shooting like a fly on the wall documentary, so they're literally just a camera recording people talking, right? And they're there, but you know, because they're allowed to be recording, doing a documentary, but they overhear by mistake that they don't think they can make it to the moon in time. It's a set back in the before we got to the moon, right? So
It was like
at the beginning of space race.
1967 or something like that.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
And they're
so,
a documentary crew that was brought onto NASA to document what was happening for
Right.
posterity or whatever, right?
and they heard that they couldn't make it to the moon, and so they concoct a plan separate outside of the CIA, because the CIA told them to stop. Tell them to stop filming. And they decide, fuck it, they're gonna go film anyway. So they can continue filming the rest of the movie, and they concoct a plan to fake the moon footage to broadcast in front of the actual moon footage in case they can't actually make it to the moon, so that they can. So, and then there's a twist at the end, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff, and Stanley Kubrick's involved, and it's fucking great. It's really good.
Cool.
It's really good. Not mockumentary. It's not like a comedy. It's there's some there's a comedic element, but it's mostly because
more
it's like
satirical.
it's one of those like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Really, really solid flick. I think I gave that a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I gave Way Bad Stone 7 out of 10. By the way, it was a good fucking movie. True Lies, of course, 10 out of 10. Let's not even talk about that.
Wonderful.
All right, and then we watched The Flesh and the Fiends from 1960. Do you remember this, Justin? You picked this in
Yeah.
Shudder.
Broken hair.
Burke and Hare. It's a Burke and Hare story. Thank you for your review.
Starring,
That's very insightful.
starring Peter Cushing
And
in the role of the scientist who was paying Burke and Hare.
who was which one? Burke
And
Hare. Donald Pleasance.
Donald Pleasance was, I think he played Burke. Maybe Hare.
He's one of the two. He was awesome. He
was
fucking
the
stole
asshole
show.
character. Yeah,
He still steals the show as you would expect of Donald
yeah,
Pleasance.
because it's Donald Pleasance. Yeah.
Yes. This is a particularly gory and grisly film, and there's also nudity. And that's if you see the extended.
There's a surprising amount of nudity.
Yay! I like nudity.
It's
Me
just
too.
a little shocking at this era, that's all. But there's a lot of gore, actually. Quite a bit of gore, a bit of violence. Someone get like stabbed right on screen in a way you don't generally see at this point in time in cinema as much.
Interesting.
So it's kind of nice to see that.
That's cool.
That kind of like pushing the boundary slowly. That was a 7 out of 10. Also, I really enjoyed that.
That one is on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber right now, I think.
Yes, I think so. Then I watched Thor with my friend Sarah. This is my first time seeing it since the theaters. I loved it. So good. 8 out of 10. And I watched Rock and Roll High School with my friend Megan. It was my second time seeing the film. The first time was with Justin in 2014 for Project Flicks. And I like this movie. It's only a 6 out of 10 because it's not like the strongest story. It's basically loosely held together reasons for the Ramones songs to play, and it's fun. It's a fun experience. What I really like about this movie is the fashion. Oh my god, I want so many clothes, so many of the clothes, so many of the outfits from this fucking movie. So good.
Yeah.
Next, I watched The Village with my friend Chloe. And this is my first time.
M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing it in a while. This was her first time ever seeing it.
I liked that one.
And
I don't know why it gets shat on so much.
good.
Yeah.
Because people suck. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh, my favorite part is everyone's like, well, why didn't planes fly over? And literally there's a fucking line talking about how they went through a lot of paperwork to get the permits so planes couldn't fly over the fucking preserve. It's like so easy.
Yeah.
It's like everything, all the flaws everyone points out in this movie are literally explained in the movie. And I have no idea what your problem is.
I don't know. People are dumb.
It's a beautifully suspenseful film.
Yeah.
I get so upset when the person stabs the other person. And you're like, ah! I'm like, no!
Yeah.
No! Because you were like, I'm shipping those characters so hard. The movie sets them up, and you're like, oh. I
What a
also
twist.
like Signs. I don't get people complain about that.
I like Signs
Everyone's
too.
like, oh,
yeah.
why would they invade the planet if it's mostly water? Because it's a fucking recon mission.
Yeah.
Mentioned in fucking dialogue on the television.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Exactly.
Also, it's a throwback to the 50s sci-fi movies like War of the Worlds, where they just fucking died from the common cold.
Exactly.
They just suddenly stop. It's the most anticlimactic ending. They just suddenly die.
But they could have seen the water from space.
And they didn't expect people to throw it at them, probably.
Yeah.
Because it probably wasn't very drinkable for the high salt content.
Exactly.
Most of it is not drinkable.
Yeah.
It's the ocean.
Exactly.
People
are dumb.
Signs is great.
Signs is great.
But
The
yeah,
Village.
also, like, they wouldn't, like, why would they expect the people to know that they would be able to use water again?
And hey, I think, didn't you raise the point? Like, gee, gosh, because humans never go to environments that are extremely hazardous to them and could kill them instantly. No, they never do that, ever.
Right? Exactly.
My friend Eben Rook pointed out that the very first planet we ever went to was completely inhospitable to man. It's called the Moon.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Correct. Yeah.
They wanted the raw materials of this planet, and yes, humans are also raw materials.
Yes.
And when you look at it from an abstract. Next,
There
I
you
watched
go.
this movie called Spellcaster, which is a early Charles Band produced joint.
Nice.
Takes place in Charles Band's famous castle. It's basically House on Haunted Hill. These people go to the castle and then to stay there and survive the night type thing.
Okay. Yeah. One
And they
of
start
those
getting killed one by one.
Yeah.
Fucking love this one.
Cool.
This was a Vinegar Syndrome VSU series, VSA title. So it's like the Vinegar Syndrome Archive. It's a limited edition title, so not no longer available probably.
Oh, okay.
So fucking good. I hope it gets pre-pressed somewhere.
Yeah.
Because like Action USA, which I actually just recently watched, that one is getting repressed on MVD. So I know that perhaps a lot of the titles with these limited editions are short-owned rights, and someone else probably has them now.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I missed out on the title." You
Yeah.
might be able to see it still.
Yeah, that often happens, especially if it did well.
So Spellcaster was a 6 out of 10. I don't want to spoil anything about it. It's really cheesy in the very 80s low budget.
Quack.
Very low budget. You gotta change your layout.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm working on it.
Okay. Very low budget, like direct-to-video feel. It feels like a full moon picture. It's before full moon, but like, or it's actual full moon. It's during the same thing as full moon. Anyway, it's like 1988. I'm pretty sure full moon existed at that point. But Spellcaster, really enjoyed this one. I hope it gets another repress because I think this is a hidden gem, really. Then I watched on Golden Ninja video release of Ninja Vortex, the hidden film,
Yes.
Princess Madam, a 7 out of 10 wacky ass movie with great action scenes.
Nice.
And then I watched the bonus film on the same release, The Dragon the Hero, which is just a standard kung fu flick, 6 out of 10. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Then I watched the last drive-in edition of The Love Witch, which we talked about earlier. I don't want to talk any more about it. It's just we talked enough that it's like 60s style image, like graphics, like like look, like the film stock, the way it's lit, the color choices, the materials on people's clothing. She is Annabelle is someone who I disagree with greatly on a lot of things, especially on some of her opinions on women. And so, but her art is undeniable.
Yeah.
It's beautifully shot female gaze horror, which is not as common as you would think.
Cool.
So good. Then with my friend Nessie, we watched Ginger Snaps.
Oh, yeah.
Really enjoyed this one. 7 out of 10, of course.
Had you not seen it before?
Oh, I've seen it, of course.
Oh,
I have it
okay.
on Blu-ray. So I saw it last 2013, I think. And then I saw it in 2002 or 2003, like really early on. I read about it in like a Horror Hound.
A friend of mine, when I used to go to this gothic coffee meet every week in Victoria, British Columbia, one of the regulars there that I chatted with quite frequently highly recommended that one to me, and it was I just never saw it until like literally this past year. I finally got the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Had to get it from a third-party seller because it wasn't officially released in Canada, so I had to have it imported. But finally watched it, and I really liked it. I thought it was just such an interesting, different take on a werewolf story, and it's Canadian. It's a Canadian movie. Like
the sequels are still stuck on DVD.
Yeah, it's really yes, they are, unfortunately.
So
but
this
I have
is a
both of
film
those, too.
about
I haven't watched
where
it yet.
it transposes womanhood with turning into a werewolf.
Yeah.
It's and honestly, I'm gonna really be another real talk here. It's shot from a real male gaze, and like watching this, I was like, that's not
well
like that. So no, I'm watching them. I just watched this movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying the director's like, it's a man, and when he wrecks some scenes, it's like
yes. There's a big
it's
but
very-
here, though.
okay.
But
Sure.
the screenplay was written by a woman who worked very closely with the director to ensure that the female perspective stuff was done respectfully.
But I'm watching it from my perspective. Watching it feels like there's still a lot of
well, I don't know.
but
Watch
I'm not-
the
it
extras.
doesn't
Watch the extras.
it does not affect the quality of the film. It's still an excellent film with really great effects and superb acting. It's still one of the top 10 werewolf films of all time. Easily.
I highly recommend I assume you have the Scream Factory release. I highly recommend the featurette on there where they interview both of them quite extensively, and you get like a little bit more insight into what their thinking was with certain choices. So, yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying,
I'm just saying what I saw in the film.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm assuming it was some compromise of some sort. I mean,
possibly, yeah. But I mean, that might have also been like part of the message they were going for was like kind of male perception,
exactly.
So,
but I was just saying, like, it's
yeah.
interesting that in watching this in retrospect, I never noticed before.
Yeah.
Before, I noticed all the like the womanhood stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's really easy.
Oh, that
it's not
reminds me.
subtextual at all, really.
There's another really good featurette on there that it's 3 women who are fairly significant presence in the horror genre. One of whom is Axel Carolyn, actually.
Okay.
And they have like a little panel discussion about women in horror movies and stuff like that. And also how women are sort of like women-centric horror is often portrayed and things like this.
I'm interested.
Really interesting discussion. I highly recommend both of those featurettes. They're genuinely interesting. I think you'll really enjoy them.
We'll have a small discussion for Dog Soldiers coming up also. Anyway.
Okay. I haven't watched that yet. I only just got that. I still haven't seen it, but I'll...
Interesting enough, that Blu-ray you got's not even the best one anymore.
Oh, okay.
And we'll talk about it.
Well, great. Anyway.
I'll talk about... Okay, but there's a reason for that.
All
anyway,
right.
and it's not Scream Factory's fault, so I can't even get on them, because... Anyway.
Okay.
So next I watched The Challenge from 1982, which is Scott Glenn, this boxing guy, who gets hired by this Japanese dude to escort him because he's got the sacred sword. He's got to return to his homeland, and he gets there and gets his fucking shit pushed in by some Yakuza dudes. Scott Glenn does. Oh, and then
Love
also the fucking guy who hired him gets like fucking like catapulted into a chasm. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
Nice.
It's great. Anyway, it's and then he learns how to be he learns the art of Bushido and shit. And anyway, Scott Glenn learns how to use a karate, a katana, and then like. Yeah, the whole movie is just like an ass-kicking fest starting with white guys. Directed by John Frankenheimer, actually.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I loved Scott Glenn as Stick in Daredevil. And also...
We're back to that kind of thing.
Also, he's the star of Slaughter of the Innocents, the one that the
Which
James
I have
Glickenhaus
right on the shelf.
one. Yeah.
It's in the queue to get watched.
It's great.
So
great film.
Eventually it will get watched. So.
Yes. I
Anyway,
haven't watched the Blu-ray yet. I'll probably do that at some point.
I'm gonna give The Challenge 6 out of 10. It has a bit of a pacing issue in the early third of the film.
Okay.
And it's kind of dated in its portrayal of the culture. To be fair,
Yeah.
Very Western portrayal. That was kind of and that kind of not accurate always type thing.
Yeah.
A little bit, but I mean, it's still an enjoyable movie because it's schlock,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
good schlock from 1982, from the year I was born. Next, I watched the next film on the Ninja Vortex release, and I watched Paris Killers, which is actually Godfrey Hill's first film. Directed first film directed completely by him.
Okay.
So from all of it is his. And there's it's not that remarkable except for the first half of the film is shot in Paris, actual Paris, and they've guerrilla style shooting. Literally, they just run out you can see that it's the cameraman's just running, running out of nowhere, and they're fighting, and people are what's going on? It's totally just guerrilla style, stole the shot, didn't have permission to, fought in and around the Eiffel Tower. There's literally onlookers going, what's happening? Just confused as people start doing kung fu fighting. It's some wild ass shit. I really enjoyed it. It's not gonna be everyone's jam. And the ending's kind of like a lot of Godfrey Hill films. It just kind of fucking ends. Next, I watched Alligator 2: The Mutation.
I didn't even know there was a sequel to that.
Yeah, I watched it with my friend Chloe. I forgot to write that down. And it's basically retelling the first movie, except instead of being in New York, it's in L.A. And the main character's still named David, but played by a different actor. But he's not the same character, but he kind of acts similar, but kind of more like an asshole. And there's a whole bunch of other side characters that get munched on, and it's boring.
Okay.
Honestly, it was a 5 out of 10.
So clearly they were copying Escape from New York, having the first one in New York and the second one in L.A. Clearly.
I can't argue with that. Next, I watched so I watched in reverse the secret film, the bonus film, and then they had the Paris Killers, which was the second film, and the first film in the collection was Ninja Terminator. But I watched it with the commentary because I'd seen Ninja Terminator before. So I was all right.
I remember you mentioned
they had the Golden Ninja exclusive commentary.
Nice.
So the commentary is a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed the hell out of that. The movie's just a 4 out of 10. It's just it's laughably bad, but that's
I love the extras that Gold Ninja produces for their releases. They're always genuinely entertaining and full of just random trivia and
There's
such
an entire row of them.
Yes, and just such infectious enthusiasm for the subject matter. Like, it's just wonderful. It's a joy to hear them talk.
The problem is, Princess, is I got cut off literally one film into our discussion last week by my power going out. So I had 2 weeks of movies watched instead
Correct.
of normally
That's
one.
why they are going on forever.
That's why we're talking about 37 movies. I'm sorry.
Yes.
In a row?
Yeah.
Yes. Actually.
Next, Justin and I watched Night Stalker: The Hunt for the Serial Killer.
Okay.
Justin, your thoughts?
I can contribute to this too because I have also watched most of that.
They really went to show how fucking evil and fucking terrible this guy was.
Yeah.
It was interesting because this time, just about 10 years earlier, honestly, the idea of like serial killers was fairly fucking new.
Yeah.
And not really considered a serious concept in like the 70s and definitely not in the 60s. But so it was a very new concept of like looking for like serialized things that you could find
patterns
every single.
There's a connection, yeah. Yeah.
And what was interesting about this particular killer is the connection was the shoe, but there are a bunch of other things that he did which were not connected at all.
Yeah.
Not something that you
his MO kept changing.
See from a serial killer.
Yeah.
Because a serial killer typically they do things a certain way.
There's a sort of a specific like
they might get more old with it, but they don't. But they're ritualistic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Ritualistic. Yeah.
It's a ritual. Yeah.
But his ritual just keeps changing over and over again. It's like
the only thing.
That that they never would have fucking found.
The only thing that was consistent was that he wanted the bodies to be found. Like he would leave them in a way that almost like putting them on display so that they could be found. The thing I found really interesting about it was not just getting into the how and the why of the killer and the murders and everything, but also about how the police were handling it or not handling it very well.
LAPD not working with them?
Well, I picked up on this very early on, even before they mentioned it. It's like, why? These aren't necessarily prostitutes. They're trying to make it like it's the new Jack the Ripper. They call him the Yorkshire Ripper. But they're not necessarily prostitutes just because they hang out in the red light district. They just, having trouble with their lives. Some of them were
marginalized in some way.
But yeah, it was like there was the way it was described later as one of the women they interviewed who was kind of looking into the case and wanting more information about it, said that this just comes off as really misogynistic on the part of the police and how they're portraying the victims. It's like it seems like a lot of victim blaming, basically saying, oh, well, they were asking for it because they were prostitutes, and just like putting down. Like, I know a lot of women who are sex workers in one form or another.
Wanting to pay your bills is not a reason to get worth getting work. Hey, come on.
Well, yeah, and also just the fact that they're saying like, oh, well, these are like undesirable people and blah blah blah. There's just all this wordage in how they describe the case. A lot of stuff they didn't release to the public, but that now, of course, they do in the documentary, and you actually see what the full reports were. And some of it is just shocking, like how they actually describe these victims. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how about you just focus on the facts of the case and keep your male chauvinist opinions to yourself? You know, like it was like
some of my good friends are sex workers.
It was so offensive, like how they were just trying to paint this picture as like, oh, he's a prostitute killer. But then he killed just some random teenager. And they're like, well, she wasn't a prostitute. And then there was another girl who survived, who managed to get away, and she was like, oh, this is like the same. We think you were attacked by the prostitute killer. And she was like, well, I'm not telling anybody that then, because I don't want to be lumped in with, prostitutes. I'm not a prostitute. And then there was 3 other people who were attacked and not killed who tried to report it, and the police just blew them off. Like, what the fuck?
Well, the thing is,
so
Los Angeles police, especially at that time,
At that
Yeah.
time,
were very
especially.
well known for being shitbags.
yeah.
It was most
It wasn't
corrupting
too
back then.
much longer. Like this was 1985, 1986, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That was the early to 80s, right?
Wait a minute. Sorry.
Like
Which?
5, 6
Wait a
years.
minute. Wait a minute. You guys are talking about the? I'm getting my true crime documentaries. I'm talking about the Ripper. You guys are talking about the Night Stalker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Night Stalker
Never
was
mind.
called
It was the New York Ripper or something. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
God damn
I
it.
forget.
But like
I'm getting them
the-
mixed up. I'm
Night
talking about the Ripper, the one with the Yorkshire Ripper, the British one from the 70s. That's the one
I've
I'm
also
talking
seen that,
about.
So you just muddled my thoughts because I've seen that one also.
Sorry, yeah, the British one is the one with their misogynist fuckbags
Right.
handling the case.
They're not as bad. Like when you
Yeah.
were saying, it was like they're bad, but were they really that bad? I don't remember that. But,
Well, not like
I have a
blatantly.
bad
It was
memory, so
very.
I immediately- I
It was
probably
like
just-
low key
Right?
misogyny, but I mean, still, it was very present if you looked at the reports. But
Maybe. And the
these
Night
cops
Stalker.
really weren't too bad, but like
yeah. So the Night
cops are-
Stalker, that's the one about Richard Ramirez, which was the
Yeah.
that's
The one we've been talking about this whole time.
I watched that one too. And that
so
one,
many killers. God,
that one was
so
also
many
very
goddamn
good. That one I actually found really fascinating, and like how you were saying, now all they had to go on was the shoe print, and it was like this really unique shoe print that literally they track it down. They realize there's literally only one pair that's been sold in the whole damn place.
In the county, yeah.
In
wherever.
the county,
Yeah.
and they
The
were
state. It's by state, actually. It's by state.
by
One in
state,
the
yeah.
state.
So that was a crucial piece of evidence that they
And that
intentionally.
fucking reporter
That
wanted to
was-
leak that shit.
And I was just gonna say that they were withholding because they don't want him to know, obviously, because
Well,
they
it's
knew
true.
he was following the newspapers, and fuck yeah, and then they blurted it out, and that one cop is just like gives the press
Dianne
conference.
Feinstein.
Yeah, the one, he gives like the press conference, like, well, we had very little evidence to go on, and now we've got a lot less.
Michael, the other Night Stalker is also known as the Golden State Killer now.
Yeah,
That's the one you're thinking of. That's
Yeah.
the other Night Stalker. This one's the
So-
original Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez from the
So
80s.
a funny story
or
about
early
Dianne
90s.
Feinstein,
Yeah,
who was the governor at the time, and she was the one who blurted it out. In
Yeah.
California.
Mm-hmm.
She's in Congress now, and she's been in Congress for like 30 fucking years. And
Wow.
She's still
wow,
still has a job.
Still the fucking worst, too.
ridiculous.
She's not very good at her job. No.
But yeah, that one was really fast. I think I watched that whole thing in one sitting, like all 4
We did
hours of
too.
it. It was just so gripping, seeing how they were.
Yeah.
Because that was actually a pretty competent investigation. Like they were really going by what they had and withholding the correct information to withhold to keep their case solid, but to try to draw him out so they could get him. And
They can make a mistake.
exactly, yeah. And
Did it get a way on you that you have to think about things in terms of, I hope that somebody else dies so that I can find this guy?
That guy was saying that was
I
like,
know.
that's like,
It's
oh.
weigh on your mind so heavily.
Yeah,
That's a horrible thing to think, but such a human thing to think, you know?
it is. Yeah, because
You just want to crack the case, and you're just like, desperate
well,
at
because
that
if you've run out of information, what was it? That was the one with the car too, wasn't it? Where they had the car held for
Yes.
prints.
point.
Yeah.
The LAPD withheld it. for
And then
too
they
long.
left
Fun.
it out
The
in the
fucking sun.
baking sun, just basically
Just
burned
all the
off
DNA
any
evidence
use
that was
of
in
it.
there.
Fortunately, there was stuff inside the car that they could use, which turned out to be invaluable. And it would have been nice if they'd looked inside the car sooner. But
Imagine how many lives could have been fucking saved.
yeah,
If they
Yeah,
had
several,
found that
actually.
car,
yeah.
if they'd been able to access that car.
And there's-
Cooperated sooner, yeah.
And there were so many moments where they were so close to getting him. Like okay,
Yeah.
this is like the perfect trap. We're gonna get him, and then something gets fucked up, and they missed him, and that was like their one chance. And then they gotta wait again, and it's like, oh, just so frustrating. But fascinating. But I thought, in terms of the investigation, I thought that one went pretty well. I mean, they caught him in the end, obviously, so there's a happy ending. But
he died. He died in prison.
And he died
of
in
cancer,
prison,
I believe, before they could execute him.
Yes, he did. He did get sentenced to death. And yeah,
I don't know if I agree with necessarily like killing him, but he definitely could never be released from prison.
Yeah, at least make his life miserable forever.
And he died slowly and painfully from cancer. So double plus good.
There you go.
Except they actually probably gave him pain meds.
So we should probably talk about the Ripper, since I blurted out a bunch of shit about it, and
we didn't watch that. I watched that a while before.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, I watched it. It was good.
I haven't even finished it, but
I still have. I've got about half of the last episode. I had to go to bed, so
I'll probably just start it over with Stout.
I'll watch it tonight. Honestly. That's good, but that's the one I was talking about, where the portrayal of the victims was very very 70s cop, and very women's lib was really just kind of exploding at that particular time.
And like I said, that was also the time when they didn't have. They didn't take the idea of serialized crimes seriously. They didn't think it was a thing.
Well, especially in the 70s, because it just didn't happen. But it's like they wanted to make it like this is the modern day Jack the Ripper, but all of the deaths were different. And they were just... It wasn't that there was a specific type of woman he was after. It was just any woman caught out alone at night. That was it. That's all he needed.
There is several, dozens of stories, 50 plus stories of whole families being killed with an axe. Yeah. And there's an author who wrote a book called The Man on the Train, and he links them all together via a fucking train route. And it's likely this serial killer went from family to family via the train across the country for a decade.
Wow.
Killing people.
That's crazy.
Before he was caught for some other unrelated crime. The axe murders of Basilica or whatever, those were a famous ones that he's now potentially... I mean, there's no actual... it's just all a theory, but I mean, it's a really solid theory. I'm like, I want a documentary based on this so bad.
The other thing that was interesting about the Ripper was it took place
1910. That guy was working.
It took place at a time when, speaking of the travel aspect, it took place at a time when freeways were just kind of starting to become a thing. So they found a bunch of bodies in this one town, in this one little area, and then suddenly there was one way out in Manchester or something, and they're like, but it there were certain aspects of it that lined up with the other killers, and it's like, I think this is the same guy, and it's like, but that's all the way out in Manchester. I thought he was confined to Leeds. It's like, no, apparently not. And then they realized, well, there's the freeway. There's the freeway that goes back and forth between Manchester and Leeds. He could just bomb out to Leeds, kill a bunch of people. He might not even they were looking for a local, but then they realized he might not even live here. He's just taking the freeway into town, killing somebody, and then going back to fucking off to who knows where. So it added all these other... There were so many different aspects to this case. And there was letters that came in that may or may not have even been written by him. There was a tape recording that was sent in that may or may not have been him. And just all these red herrings and shit being thrown into the mix from copycats and wannabes just looking for attention, and as if the investigation wasn't fucky enough to begin with. But yeah, and then how they end up catching him, I won't spoil it, but it was it's basically by total fluke, total chance. Just a couple of cops just randomly stumbled across something and turned out to be the guy. It's well, holy shit. After all that,
up to 10 p.m. just so you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching the clock. But
next, Stout and I watched Crime Scene: The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel.
I also watched this.
Another 4-hour documentary in one sitting.
So much misogyny. Oh, wait a minute. That's the Ripper again. No, never mind.
Stout, thoughts?
Yeah.
It's way more sad. Well, they're all sad in a way because they're all talking about people who were killed.
Yes, they are.
In this case, it's a different story, and it became this phenomenon where the footage they released about this, the last known footage of her whereabouts, was very odd, very strange. People couldn't figure out.
This
It almost
was.
looked haunting in a way.
Let me just
And
explain
so-
briefly. I remember when this video came out, it was like everywhere. Everybody on the internet
I
was
didn't
watching
know
it.
about this at all.
I remember seeing it. It was just kind of put out as, oh, check out this creepy video. And it was the last known footage of her ever being seen. And it was basically, most of you probably seen this footage before. It was basically a young Asian girl in her early 20s in an elevator and behaving very strangely, almost as if like someone was chasing her or she was trying to hide from somebody, and she kept like going in and out of the elevator, and then eventually she walks out of the elevator and turns the corner, and that's the last anybody saw of her until her body was discovered like a week and a half later. But so it was this big mystery, like what happened? Was there someone chasing her? What was there, some kind of supernatural thing going on? Like, it was just this huge mystery. The actual explanation is heartbreaking.
Tragic.
Yeah, it's crushing when you actually find out what it was. And
if you are bipolar or struggle with depression,
Yeah.
please be aware this might trigger you.
yeah,
It
big
was a
time.
very deeply affecting documentary.
Oh yeah, the
I was
last.
very upset.
Yeah,
But I made Stoudman stay up and watch one more movie with me because of
yeah,
it.
just to get grounded again.
Yeah.
It's great, and I really enjoyed this one a lot as a documentary. But yes, the subject matter can be very affecting, and it definitely affected me. And when I
Yes.
realized that was, I had suspected it was something like that for a long time, just from some of the speculations I'd seen on the internet. And when you kind of get the whole picture, and
Laid
so
it out.
long and short of it is they figured out what happened, and it's just tragic.
Mhm.
But it's not what anybody thought it was. And all the conspiracy theories and craziness on the internet. But as a
Why the conspiracy came about, though.
Yeah.
Learning about the history
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
yeah. Because and that's one of the wonderful things about this documentary is it juxtaposes the story of the disappearance of Emily Lamb with the history of the
The whole
Cecil
episode.
Hotel, where
Pull up some of the history. I mean, it's great.
yeah, it is. It's great, and this is a hotel that a lot of people said was just a cursed hotel because there was and it was right near Skid Row, so there was a lot of like
On Skid
shady people. Yeah, a lot of shady people would come and go. Some would live there, and there was a lot of murders and suicides and drug dealings and just a lot of shady goings on. And a lot.
There's that connection with the Night Stalker because he stayed
Mhm.
there for a little while.
Yeah, actually, no surprise there. But
One of the detectives in the Night Stalker documentary appears in this documentary. He has to shave his head, I guess, but same guy.
he does briefly, yeah.
One of the guys. No, I thought it was gonna be Gil, but Gil wasn't in it. Unfortunately,
No,
he was only in one.
but
But yeah, then we watched Lou Diamond Phillips in Future Kick, and I watched Lou Diamond Phillips kick 13 fucking people's faces off. It was great.
Mhm.
So, I will say, there are was there 3 or 4 instances of like faces or heads exploding.
3.
Either exploding or getting kicked off,
Hmm.
or something like that.
Kicked his
You guys take the
face
shot
off.
No, kicked his head off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Today just shot off actually, but
well,
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. And
so much
that
low
was
building.
crazy enough. But the concept behind the story was what got me, is that it's actually not a bad idea for a story. It's not a bad concept.
Mhm.
They're basically taking like dark sci-fi post-apocalypse, not post-apocalypse, but
Mm-hmm.
apocalyptic kind of visions of the future, almost like RoboCop or
Oh, dystopian.
they're dystopian. There's
Yeah.
some elements like RoboCop. There's some elements of
Mhm.
Terminator in this. They're clearly trying to kind of reference those things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
It's a new Concord James, so it's Roger Corman's place.
Okay.
so it's like it's not actually a bad story.
It's dystopian, yes.
It's really cheesy because it's a low budget action flick starring Don the Dragon Wilson. Is it
It's a
Wilson?
cyberpunk film, in fact. It's
Ooh,
very much cyberpunk.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I am interested.
It's also at the same time as it's not a bad plot. It's also got these characters in it that are just like doing things you're like, but why would you do that? And there are several scenes that are ripped directly from other movies. They're not from this movie; they're just used in this movie.
Right.
You know?
There's a spaceship from Galaxy of Terror. There's a spaceship from Battle Beyond the Stars. And there's a bunch of strip club footage from Strip to Kill 2, Live Girls.
Interesting.
Every time you get into a club in the movie and you see boobies, it's from the strip club movie.
Yay,
Strip to
boobies.
Kill 2.
All right.
It's a really fun movie though. It's on Amazon.
It's like 72 minutes. It's so short.
Oh, okay. What's it called
We're
again?
watching it. It's called Future Kick
Future Kick.
from
All right.
1991.
All right.
But I mean, I watched it and I was like, oh my god, this movie's almost over. Jesus Christ, it was so quick. It moved right along.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's
good.
fun. It's a good fun movie.
Next, I watched Captain America: First Avenger with my friend Sarah. It's a
Yay.
9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Continuing with the journey through the MCU.
Avengers is next.
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
Next, I watched Zombie 5: Killing Birds, aka Raptors. What a weird movie this was. So, people visit a cabin, and then like they're kind of attacked by birds a bit, and then zombies show up. Look. It's called Zombie 5: Killing Birds. You figured it out. It's weird. It's by Joe D'Amato, so it's okay. It was a 5 out of 10. Future Kick, by the way, was a 7 out of 10.
Agreed.
Next, I watched Ninja Killer from the Ninja Vortex Disc 2. This is the hidden film, also known as Kung Fu on the Bosphorus. This is just a regular-ass Kung Fu movie, 5 out of 10. Nothing super great about it. Next, I watched Dog Soldiers with my friend Nessie. So here's the thing about Dog Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Soldiers. At the time of Dog Soldiers, this Blu-ray, the original negatives were considered lost.
Ah, okay.
Because Path and a lot of those other European studios just didn't keep the negatives.
Yeah. Silly.
So the original, that release was made with two 16mm prints, I believe.
Okay.
A 16mm print and 35mm print, something like that.
It's like
But-
a mix.
It doesn't look great.
Yeah.
You watch it, it looks really noisy a bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit rough.
Okay.
It's really dark. That's a big problem.
Okay.
Okay. Now, there's a German 4K release. It's $100 US.
No, I'm never
Which
buying that.
They found the original camera negatives.
Nice.
Now that went out of print. I'm guessing there's going to be someone releasing that somewhere.
Yeah.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Arrow, Vinegar Syndrome.
'Cause I will upgrade.
Maybe even Scream Factory. Get me Scream Factory. Maybe you'll do like a Steelbook with the better transfer, which they've done
Right.
before. So
Or another company will do it like Arrow probably or something.
I can see Arrow doing it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope that's true. But Dog Soldiers still holds up. It's an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
My friend Nessie really enjoyed it. So
I still haven't watched it. I only just got the Blu-ray pretty recently.
it's good to watch. Good watch.
I wanted to snag it because it was going out of print, so I didn't want to miss out on it. But,
Entirely watchable, and we have no news on. And then that
Yeah.
that 4K's been out for I think over a year, 2
Yeah.
years now. So
Yeah.
you think there'd be a U.S. announcement at some point?
Well,
but it
I mean,
had
the
to
thing
be.
is that, like I said, the Scream Factory one's out of print now, so it's up in
Yeah.
the air. So I mean, it's almost. I know what a popular movie it is, so I mean, it's pretty much inevitable somebody's going to pick it up at some point. So it's just a matter of
Alright.
when, not if.
True.
Yeah.
One of the dogs does not. There's 2 dogs in this movie. One of them does not make it. Just a heads up. Next, I watched The Boston Strangler from 1968 by Richard Fleischer. This is one of the earlier films where they did split screen.
Oh, okay.
There are a
yeah.
few films prior to this, but this one is one of the first where they do like a bunch of he does like someone's getting ready for the day, and there's like a little insert of him tying his shoe, and another of him
Okay.
like pouring, and like it's like doing like little pieces, like so. This one frame like a tapestry of little images. Pretty neat. I
if you-
enjoyed this movie.
If you want to see another early example of split screen, Grand Prix with James Garner. That's where he
It's on
plays.
It's on my list. Yeah.
It's I saw it a while back. I don't know if it was even a widescreen version, but I remember being really impressed by the use of
It's a
split.
Blu-ray now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. I think it's in my cart somewhere, but or wish
Mine
list.
too.
But yeah, A, because I love James Garner, and B, I love movies that kind of push the envelope of movies a little bit and try something different. And I remember being really impressed by this, especially by the race footage, because that's really where they use it the most. So you can see like different parts of the race going on in the split screen to kind of give you more information, and it's just really cool.
Okay. So next, I watched The Silence of the Hams.
Okay.
Do you know who Ezio Greggio is? Greggio?
Don't think so, no.
He wrote, starred, directed, produced, and financed this film because he's a fucking film actor from like Italy, I guess.
Okay.
And
Don't
then
know.
this is like his only American film. It's got like Joe Dante, John Landis, and John Carpenter are all actors in this. Mel Brooks is in this. Dom DeLuise and Phyllis Diller. God, who else was it? Erwin Keyes.
Oh wow.
Like a whole bunch of like Larry Storch, Rip Taylor, and they're all these small parts. But this is like a spoof of Silence of the Lambs and similar films of that era. So like of those kind of types of serial killer films.
Okay.
But it's like
interesting.
there's some really funny gags and early on, but Ezio Greggio is not the best speaker of English,
Okay.
and so it can be hard to understand what the fuck is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And by, I would say, the 40-minute mark, some of the running gags are kind of wearing thin.
Okay.
And I would say it's only a 3 out of 10.
Yikes. Wow.
Yeah. But so I watched this with my friend Chloe. I tried for 2 weeks to get anybody to watch this with me. And finally Chloe was like, this sounds fun. And we laughed through it. But I mean,
Yeah. It's something you definitely need to watch with a friend and just.
Yes, because trying to watch it by yourself, you're just going to just hate yourself.
What has my life become?
Exactly.
I regret everything.
And then next I watched another film off the Ninja Vortex. I watched Crocodile Fury from 1988, which is this Indonesian film called Cry Song, cut together with a bunch of white dudes in ninja outfits and shit for some reason, and hopping vampires and zombies that they fight, all spliced in to fill in the gap of the movie. So the movie starts out like this crocodile kills like fucking 100 people. Like literally, it's like 2 people get murdered, 2 people get murdered. Like for like first 8 minutes of the movie, it's just person after person getting murdered, and it turns out that the crocodile's a woman from this race of crocodile people, and there's a love story involving this person who lives on land and this lady, and like he talks about murdering people, and then the fucking ninjas, and there's a sorceress lady and summoning zombies, and I don't know what fucking happened in this movie, but there was a lot of crazy shit happening. It's a 2 out of 10 movie for completely incoherent bullshit, but it's also you and your friends could just laugh your ass off at what inane shit happens next. It's a God Ho film. What would you expect? Actually, it's a Thomas Tang film, I believe.
Yeah.
Next, I watched for Skinslip Secret Cinema. We watched Robot Holocaust from 1986, which is a really interesting sci-fi fantasy combo film. So it's like there's a bunch of space footage. I think it's actually from another movie.
Okay.
And then
could be.
And then they go to the planet. The planet's like with medieval people, but there's also lasers and shit. It's a really interesting mix, but there's also kind of like this desolate wasteland they have to travel through, so there's a tad bit of Mad Max thrown in. I enjoyed watching this. I believe it was Cyber 6, and then there was a new person who showed up, and they stayed for like 20 minutes, and then I paused because they're like, hey, look, the Twin Towers, and they left when I paused the movie. I was like, okay.
that was their
They
line.
got mad, I guess. They paused it, I guess. I don't know. They probably left for some innocuous reason.
I'm sure, yeah.
Next, I watched Norman J. Warren's Terror from 1978, which is a weird, like... Fuck, which movie was this? I watched so many movies. I'm so sorry, everybody. Oh, right. These people burn this witch. This witch curses the family, and now the descendants of the witch hunting family and their close friends are stalked and killed by a mysterious entity. It's kind of like a horror, like a slasher, but not really. More like a supernatural revenge flick.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Norman J. Warren. I keep fucking his name though. Norman J. Warren's films are a refined taste, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the most competent director, but he puts lots of TNA and gore in it to make up for his ineptitude in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
He was inspired by Suspiria.
Okay.
So there's a lot of wacky lighting in this.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally looks like he's like
Just trying to be Suspiria.
I'll do this. Yeah, pretty much. But it's
Yeah.
actually a pretty good movie. I gave this 7 out of 10. Sean, you're gonna actually really like Norman J. Warren's work.
Okay, cool.
You would like it. He did InSaNiTy and
Okay.
Bloody New Year
Yeah.
and Prey, which is the one I haven't seen yet. That's the one with the lesbians.
I think I might have a couple of those actually, but I'll have to.
The Vinegar Syndrome released a bunch of them on Blu-ray, but
Yeah.
I bought this box set called
I remember
Bloody
that
Bear.
set. Yeah, I remember commenting on the cover.
Satan's
Awesome
Slave is
cover.
really fucking. We talked about Satan's Slave last week, or
Yeah.
last episode,
Mhm.
episode before last, actually. Now,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed InSaNiTy and Satan's Slave so far.
Yeah.
Bloody New Year was pretty good. Terror was pretty good, and I can't wait to see Prey. I'm very excited. And then I
Very
found
cool.
another one of those films because they only did these 5 films and like maybe 2 or 3 more.
Okay, so
And then
pretty
did a bunch of
small,
shorts.
small filmography.
Yeah, and so like most of the stuff's on Blu-ray. So I just there's like 2 or 3 other movies I have to grab. One of which isn't on Blu-ray at all. Spaced Out, it's called.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah, because there's a Blu-ray of Her Private Hell from Eureka in the UK, and then Gunpowder, Loving Feeling, and Spaced Out are the ones that haven't been released in Blu-ray. But I think Gunpowder and Loving Feeling are on DVD.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
All
looked
right.
into it because like I'm so close to getting this guy's complete filmography. I might as well.
Might as well
grab it.
finish it off. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. We're almost done, I swear. I watched the second Sister Street Fighter film, Hanging by a Thread, from 1974. Not as wild or enjoyable as the first film, but very
Yeah.
much not a waste of time. She just kicks a lot of faces, a lot of martial arts, a lot of fight porn.
Excellent.
Basically, just a lot of fighting for the sake of fighting. A lot of wacky characters get the face kicked off.
Okay.
6 out of 10. Next, I watched Action USA. I had a bad fit of ADHD while watching this. I
Oh, really?
basically watched the first 40 minutes, then the middle 30 minutes, then the last 20 minutes. I had to rewind repeatedly. It's not the movie's fault. I just had a bad attention span day.
Just those days.
The movie is it was like done by these people who are stunt coordinators.
Okay.
So as you can imagine, the plot is nonsensical as this lady who's literally a human MacGuffin to drive the plot forward because she keeps getting kidnapped by various people, and she's being chased after by the heroes who are also one-dimensional. As one-dimensional as the bad guys, everyone's one-dimensional. There's no fucking character, anything. Everyone's like the character in like the previous scene almost getting hit by a fucking car, being shot at. The next thing she's cracking jokes at with her captors.
Okay.
It's like it's totally all over the place, but full body burn. There's boobs. There's fucking a crazy amount of awesome car stunts, and it's worth it for all the stunts. It really is. But
yeah. So
the story is just there to string it all together.
So essentially, approach it as a stunt show.
Yeah, it's a stunt show.
Yeah.
But this poor girl is literally just a fucking MacGuffin.
Yeah.
And that's just terrible.
But hey, boobs and awesome stunts sold.
Yeah. Next, with my friend Madeline, I watched my very first Neil Breen film. I watched his first film, Double Down, which is the one where he's the assassin wandering around the desert having philosophical discussions with his dead wife.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the entire movie. It's a sight to behold. He knows. It's interesting. He doesn't know what he's doing in some ways. In other ways, he knows what he's doing. He's making these layered films, but he's not exactly capable of making those into films that I would say are traditionally watchable by people. But it's an experience, and I'm glad I had it. And me and Madeline are going to go through his filmography.
Okay.
So we'll have more discussions about Neil Breen here. It was my very first time seeing it, so I'd seen him on Best of the Worst, obviously, so I was familiar with his his movies the best and the worst. Which, by the way, I found out Double Down. The Double Down episode's gone because it had Max Landis on it. It says the episode's now gone from YouTube.
Yeah.
But I just happened to have ripped it off the YouTube well before then. So I went back and watched the episode by skipping past Max Landis' crap and then watching just a review Double Down. Next, I watched on the Ninja Vortex Invincible Obsessed Fighter, which was this like Elton Chung. Elton Chung's like he's like a light or a diet Jackie Chan, which is kind of giving him a disservice. He's like Jackie Chan. He's a kung fu comedy. He's just not as polished or as refined or as good as Jackie Chan. It's a good second rate.
Okay.
But he's in this movie, so there's lots of fun action. Don't answer what the story was. I could not. The story was just like, what? Huh?
What were the subtle nuances of the plot?
Yeah. It's a kung fu movie. Elton Chung was just doing shit. Anyway.
Okay.
Next, I watched Cloverfield this morning at 9 a.m. with my friend Emmy.
Oh, the original.
First time I had watched a movie with them.
Nice. I haven't seen Cloverfield in a while. I still haven't seen the other two. The Cloverfield Paradox and 10 Cloverfield Lane.
We plan to watch those other two. But
yeah, I need to get around to that. I need to watch. I should just have a Cloverfield day and watch all three of them.
Yes, they are only tangentially linked. And then watch. I think it's Rainbot or Nightmind, or one of those channels that has like a in-depth analysis connecting all with all the links, all of the ARG stuff. Like it's nice. Like. Because the ARG stuff doesn't exist anymore. You know, it's just gone from the websites that don't exist. Like the Wayback Machine only restores some functionality to some of those things.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Some of them had to go to Twitter and Facebook, or not Facebook, Twitter and MySpace is a big one for that one specifically. And those MySpace pages don't exist anymore.
No, of course not.
So, but like, I like all three of those movies. But I'm curious to see. I want my second Cloverfield movie. They promised me a movie from the military's perspective, so I can see more of the monster, and we can find more about where the monster came from, if it was dispatched, all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I want to. I need it, please.
Well, I mean, we are getting all these sort of side stories and whatnot, so hopefully, you know, they've done well enough that a proper sequel will be on the table at some point.
Yes, I hope so. And then last but not least, me and my friend Kristen watched Amos and Andrew, which is a Nick Cage, Samuel L. Jackson black comedy that is trying very hard to play with racial tropes. And some ways it succeeds, in other ways it makes you cringe.
Oh, dear.
It's from 1993. But it wasn't a bad movie overall. It was very enjoyable. Nick Cage is a hoot per usual. Samuel L. Jackson is the speaker who like is like known in his community, but he moves into like this predominantly white neighborhood on this island, and his neighbors are these stupid wannabe progressives who are racist. And they see him walking with his own stereo into his own newly bought house, and they think he's stealing a fucking radio and call the cops. And then they offhand mention to the cops that they think there may be, because they know who used to live there, so they think there might be a hostage, then it escalates. Yeah, exactly. Escalates from there, and everything that could go wrong goes wrong. It's just zany miscalculation on every possible front.
Comedy of errors, as they say.
Yes. Thank you. Comedy of errors. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best film I've ever seen, but
well, Samuel L. Jackson.
I'd watch it again.
Samuel L. Jackson seems to pick his projects with some degree of care. So generally, if he's in something and it's gonna, play with some of the racial, tropes and whatnot, I know that it's at least trying to have something to say because he's involved in it. And
it definitely has something to say. It does say a lot, and the interesting thing is a lot of things it's saying are still very true, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I went into this with a thought because it was written and directed by a white guy. So I was like, is this gonna be some dude's excuse to use the N-word a lot? The answer is no.
No.
It's used sparingly and used usually only in racist terms, and there are repercussions for the people who say those words.
Yes.
And it's interesting. But
well, good.
Well, it's an interesting thing is, yes, Samuel Jackson's been in some really bad, really unpopular films,
Yeah.
But like, he's always the best part of it, at least.
Yeah, but what I mean is the ones that tend to deal with the the racially charged issues or
Yes.
messages, he tends to choose quite carefully, make sure they
He
actually
seems
have
much
something,
more cognizant. than
something
someone would-
that they have something interesting to say, or they're playing with the tropes in an interesting or funny way or whatever. Like he's
Yeah.
stuff like that. So Stout, any stuff you watched on your own?
I watched
Sorry.
Earwig and the Witch,
That's correct.
Okay.
which is which
Goro
is
Miyazaki's
the- Yeah, it's a CGI animated. The first CGI animated
right, yeah.
not
Miyazaki's
Miyazaki movie, but Studio Ghibli movie,
Killer
right?
film.
Yeah.
And it was good, but I did feel like the first, I think it's like an 80-minute movie. So like the first
So pretty
70
short.
minutes of the movie, it feels like it's building up to
It's like
the
90% of the
second-
movie.
it feels like it's building up to the third act. We get the first act, we get the second act. It feels like
Yeah.
it's building up, and it's like, where'd the third act go? This is the ending. Where did the third act go?
It's
What
like-
the fuck?
So all
They just
hinging
do a
on-
sudden like
yeah. What?
shit is going on.
What?
and it's
Say
just-
again?
Say
What?
again. You're breaking up.
Why am I breaking up?
I don't know.
6 months later, they cut to a 6 months later. All this
Oh.
other shit is going on now,
Okay.
and this is what life is like for her now, and all
Mhm.
that stuff.
Oh.
And it's just like they show you something in the very beginning of the movie that they're like, this will be important at some point, and then
Mhm.
they finally bring it back all around at the very very end, and it's like that right then they. Right as they're about to give you what they promised at the very beginning of the movie, the end.
What? Okay.
I love this movie. I love all the characters in this movie. I want more,
Yeah.
but that's the problem. Is like,
Yeah.
is
That's
this
it.
going to have a sequel? Was this the
Really?
first
That's
part
the
of like a series or something?
Thanks,
And I look it
Jill.
up and like, I look it up and no, there's no planned sequel, and this was just the way that the book that it was based on went. Apparently,
Just to leave
I don't
it-
know,
Leave that
I
thing
don't know
ambiguous, I
enough.
guess. I don't know.
but
But-
like,
Interesting.
I
Hmm.
really
I'm
just.
curious to see that.
I want
Yeah.
more because it's really good. It's a really cool story. I
Mhm.
love it, and it does show you what Studio Ghibli can look like in CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Still prefer the original animation,
2D
obviously.
style. Yeah, yeah.
But
It's so iconic.
what
so
I will say
beautiful.
is they spent very little time on the CGI characters themselves, but they spent a lot of time on like the backgrounds and world and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff definitely looks like and feels like it belongs in a Studio Ghibli movie. The characters themselves feel detailed enough
Yeah. Yeah.
for some reason, but everything else I liked about the movie. I'd say it's an 8 out of 10 or something like that.
That's pretty good, right?
The other movie I had the time to watch was hold on, this actually is one of my
Pig.
Good Burger.
Ah, good burger. There you
Cover
go.
it next week. But yes,
Uh-huh.
this just came out on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looks very good on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a blow your mind transfer, but it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. And
Better than the old VHS.
no DVD. It was on DVD.
Well, I'm pretty
But,
sure it was on VHS too. I was just making it.
That too, yeah.
Just making a little joke. It's a little one. It's a little joke.
No jokes.
This is good
No-
burger. This is serious
Very
business.
serious movie. But no, I love this movie. I love so many different things about this movie. I love that there's random. They end up in a movie called Good Burger. The two main characters and Abe Vigoda end up in an insane asylum, and while they're in this insane asylum, they meet up with George Clinton, from the funk
The
musician
P
right?
Funk and the
Yeah.
Parliament.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And the Funkadelic.
And
yeah.
George Clinton has this one line where he's like on the radio and he says, "Oh, this sucks." And then
And then he sneezes on it.
And then randomly out of nowhere, Kel's character goes up and who's Ed goes up and changes the station on the radio and turns it up, and it's of course funk music.
Yes.
And suddenly there's a dance number in this insane asylum in the middle of this movie about a burger joint.
Good
burger
old
restaurant.
random dance
It's
numbers.
So completely random and out of nowhere, and that's what I love about this movie is that there's so many moments it's just like, what the fuck is it?
That's like how in Ferris Bueller, there's this like random big dance number in the middle of the street.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's just like the one thing that just feels so out of place in that movie, but.
And there are many little things in the movie that I like about it. Ed's character, I realized that watching it this time is kind of asexual, if you think about it. I mean, now I think about that kind of stuff, but like, I noticed like, so he rejects like every sexual advance made towards him in the movie, and there are a few that are made towards him. So every single one.
So kind of like Todd in BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my favorite one is that Carmen Electra. He's on a date with Carmen Electra, a double date with him and two of the other characters. And she's like, "Wouldn't you much rather spend some time alone with me than playing mini golf?"
Nah.
And he looks over towards the mini golf. He's like, "No."
I want to play mini golf.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that movie, and I'm glad it's on Blu-ray now. So,
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. That's all I watched.
That was all you watched? Okay.
Now it's your turn. ASMR movie talk. Let's go.
Finally. I almost feel like I should do mine first from now on so we don't end up...
Okay.
It's always after 10 by the time it gets around to me.
That's always a good idea, actually.
Yeah. So, Stout is frozen with a big, goofy grin.
Fucking freeze. That's an emote for his chat right there.
That was a great
What the hell? Why am I frozen?
That was a great freeze. You're just like...
I turned off my audio because crinkle.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like...
All right. So... So this week, as we kind of got into a little bit, I kind of went down the true crime documentary rabbit hole on Netflix.
You too?
Yes, it started with watching the one about the Hotel Cecil, and then I was just like, that was really good. I'm kind of in the mood for more horrible, tragic murder and death stories. So let's watch some more. So the next one I want you, if you've ever seen this or know anything about this, you're probably going to laugh darkly. So the next one I chose to watch was a feature-length documentary about a case that happened in, kind of middle America called American Murder: The Family Next Door. You guys,
not seen that.
Do you guys know this one?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
I know the story of it.
You know.
What's interesting to me about this story is how many people have like turned it into like the house is haunted. There are ghosts. I'm like,
no.
Shut the fuck.
No.
But
Yep.
Yes, it's
There are ghosts. What are you talking about?
It's just
the guy who did this, by the way, is a total asshole, and I hate him. And I'm glad he's
Yes.
Anyway.
Obviously, we won't give away who it was because that's one of the big parts of the mystery. But basically, what happened was, it's this happy couple. They've got their 2.5 children. She's pregnant with she got their two kids, two beautiful little girls, 1 3, 1 5, and she's pregnant with another one. They got like the perfect middle class life. There's a little bit of issues that they're having, but you would think nothing that they can't work out. So husband works out of town and stuff like that, and she decides to go off on a vacation, just kind of to clear her head and go off. So she goes off on her own, and then comes back, and there's a security camera. It's kind of like Emily Lamb, actually. There's a security camera outside the front door of the house, and her flight's delayed. She gets back at like 2 a.m, and there's the footage of her coming back home at 2 a.m, being dropped off by her friend, and going in the front door, and that's the last anyone saw of her. So the whole documentary is actually compiled from security cam footage. It feels like a found footage film, but it's real. It's actually it's actually real stuff. So it's compiled from found footage or from security camera footage, police body cams, police interview footage, and other interviews and such. But it's almost all entirely like footage from the investigation and everything. So the husband, I forget who it was. I think it was the husband called the police and said, that she's missing or whatever, and so they come to investigate her. And no, it was one of her friends. One of her friends hadn't heard from her for a couple of days after dropping her off, and thought like something weird's going on here. And the husband was away at the time, like just working somewhere. And so they come to the house. They're trying to see if she's in there. They can't see any sign of her or the kids. And the husband comes back, and they let him know what's going on. And he's like, "Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I saw her last night, and haven't seen her since, and stuff like that." So it's just this big mystery. Like, what the hell happened to them? She came home at 2 a.m, and then her and the kids disappeared. Her cell phone was left behind. The kids' blankies, which they kept with them at all times, were gone. So it's like, she just up and leave with the kids? Like, did she leave them? Like, wow. What's going on? The truth about what happened is so goddamn tragic. And, when you find out, like, what the real story was and who was responsible and what the circumstances were, like, you're just so glad to see justice done at the end, but it is so fucking heartbreaking. But yeah, anyway, American Murder, The Family Next Door.
Especially for Sean, I'm like,
yes,
that story I knew would hit you because the kids involved.
Yeah,
I remember this camera footage of her, like the last footage of her. I remember seeing that went viral.
Probably, not surprised.
I first heard about this because there's this. It's really good if you like true crime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Really good YouTube channel called Jim Can't Swim, JCS, and he does all these really professional looks at like footage of people being interrogated by the police and stuff like that.
Yeah, that can be really
and
interesting.
he covered this particular crime.
Yeah,
and the interrogation of it all was just.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another thing entirely from what you'll see in the documentary. But like,
yeah, there's quite a lot in the documentary of the interrogation and questioning and stuff like that. You'll see I'd say it's a good like latter third of it. Once they kind of figure out what's going on, but I mean,
it's a few means that I'll watch it eventually.
But yeah, obviously the nature of the crime was something that definitely hit me hard. But at the same time, I couldn't stop watching because I wanted to see justice be done. I'm like, that is so tragic. I want to see this person get caught and convicted and put away forever, And it was, as most true crime stories do, justice is done in the end. I mean, I guess that's one of the appeals is seeing the horrible, evil, terrible people of the world get their comeuppance. Seeing that there is indeed evil in the world, but that evil doesn't win. So
but there could be something called justice out there.
Yes, that sometimes the bad guys do get caught.
Sometimes it does do the right thing. Yes,
yes.
Used appropriately.
So
sometimes too heavy-handed, and we got to fix those times.
So this next one I watched was
another true crime.
Another true crime. Yep.
Oh, Lord.
This one I kept hearing was really good, but potentially very triggering, especially for anyone who is triggered by animal abuse situations.
Oh, did you finally watch it?
I watched Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh, you watched that's a great one.
Yeah. Have you seen? That's
one of the best.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, we watched that one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, obviously, I wasn't sure if you had seen it or not. I was going to say, yeah, it's very triggering, but it's also very good. So I'm kind of torn as to whether or not
I
to
don't
recommend
get
it.
triggered by animals, and I don't.
Yeah.
I just didn't look at the screen when there was like talking
Yeah.
about doing some of that stuff. I was like, okay.
So don't fuck with cats is basically, I mean, we've all heard the horror stories about people who do horrible things to animals and then post pictures of it on the internet or videos of it on the internet. And this was one of those cases where someone had done, this guy had done these horrible videos of him killing cats, essentially, in various very inhumane, just sadistic ways.
Like stepping on them or whatever in the videos. Like
No, it wasn't that. It was
Foxfire. Which one was it? I can't remember which one it was.
there was one that was well, I really don't want to go into it because that could be triggering for people just watching. I'd rather
Okay,
just not
fair.
say what they are.
I've seen too many awful videos in my life.
Yeah, let's just leave that because. But anyway, needless to say, it was pretty horrible. So anyway, so he posts the videos on the internet, and you know, I love the way the girl at the beginning puts it. He says, "There's rule 0 with the internet. You can do pretty much anything you want on the internet. You can be whoever you want on the internet. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Be as depraved as you want." But there's one rule that you never, ever, ever break, and that is don't fuck with cats. Plain and simple. And, I mean, honestly, that applies to any kind of animal abuse. But, I mean...
The internet loves its cats.
The joke is that, you know, the cats rule the internet, so don't go messing with cats. And everybody loves cats. So basically, these internet sleuths see this video, and they kind of start connecting up and saying, well, let's see if we can figure out who the fuck this guy is and catch him. And so a good chunk of the documentary is about how they pieced everything together just from the tiny little clues in the videos. These guys are so fucking smart. Like
sleuths, man.
The way that they put information together and figured things out and caught the red herrings that this guy was smart too. Like, he was throwing them so many red herrings and covering his tracks, and basically the guy who was behind it all had liquidated all of his assets, so he had all this cash that he could use to just keep moving around the country and changing his location, and made him even harder to track because he wasn't leaving much of a paper trail. So they really had to, you know, keep on top of it. But the thing that was interesting about it is we always hear these stories about how serial killers start. How they start maybe killing insects, then killing animals, and then eventually moving on to humans. And that's what this guy did, was he started by killing cats, and then he killed a human. It's one of those typical horror stories you hear about meeting a stranger off of Craigslist, and it goes horribly, horribly wrong. And that's basically how he found his victims. But that was the thing. And they kept trying to tell the police, give the police the information that they had. And they just kept getting blown off by the police. So it wasn't until a human was killed that the police took notice, and eventually started networking with the internet sleuths and putting all their clues together. And needless to say, eventually they caught the guy. But the thing that was frustrating about it was they figured out who it was quite early on. And they were, like, tracking him everywhere. And, like, they were always, like, one step behind him. Like, he was always a step ahead of them every step of the way. And it just made it so frustrating because they just had so much information that they'd put together. And they were just so smart in how they'd investigated the whole thing. But yeah, no, eventually they catch the guy. But for me, the real fascinating part was seeing the investigation, like the process they went through to track him and try to stop him before he killed again. And but yeah, really fascinating documentary. Really enjoyed it a lot. Some really interesting people in it, that's for sure. But obviously, and for some of you, it may be very triggering to watch. So approach with caution. Now, I will say they don't show like anything super graphic from the videos. They just give you enough of it to give you context of what's going to happen.
You don't actually see any animal death on screen.
No, you don't see any animal deaths. You don't see any human death either, because he did a video of the human murder as well. But it's Mostly they just they'll show you a little bit of the beginning just to kind of give you some context, and then they'll describe what happens.
Yeah.
So even the description alone could be very triggering for you. Yeah. So approach with caution. But if you like true crime, it's definitely a good one, especially showing the internet sleuthing aspect of it.
The internet sleuthing thing is one of the examples of like I explained to Justin why like when we move we have to be very careful about like social media photos.
Yeah.
What you show in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because there's people out there who use that power for evil. And
yes.
You know.
That's very true. So what else did I watch? Then I watched what was it called?
This is why I keep a log. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know. I watched so many of them. I was watching them like as I was doing other things. So let me just find the title here. Hold on a second.
Don't worry, I don't have COVID. I just smoked too much weed.
Yeah, it's just where was it here? Yeah, it was this. Oh, yeah. A bit of a long-winded title. I watched Evil Genius, the true story of America's most diabolical bank heist. Have you seen this one?
Yeah, we saw that one a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah.
I saw it with my ex, and then I watched it with Justin.
Oh, okay. Is it that old?
I saw part of it with Justin and watched it with someone else. I can't remember. Anyway, I just started with my ex at one point.
It's 2018.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, it was, that was good.
Netflix original. But yeah, it was basically about
that woman is evil. Jesus Christ.
Oh God, she was. And like just
that's the thing, that's
scary
what I was
evil.
reading about the reason why there aren't as many female serial killers is because women generally coerce other people into killing.
That's a very good example of that, actually, this one.
When it comes into multiple killings. When it comes to multiple killings like that.
Yeah.
Not that it's always that way, it's just more often, you know.
Yeah, it was basically this big, elaborate conspiracy of a mystery. In terms of, like, I don't even know how much I can get into because you kind of want to experience the mystery. But basically, it starts off where there's a guy who is apparently a pizza delivery guy who walks into a bank to rob the bank. He's basically been coerced into robbing the bank on behalf of persons unknown.
He got held at gunpoint and the collar was put on it.
Let me just explain. He was held at gunpoint or the story goes, he was held at gunpoint and a device was placed on him, a collar with an explosive device with a timer. And essentially he was given these ridiculously convoluted, elaborate instructions where he had to go to the bank, ask for a certain amount of money, and then go to this other location, and he'd be given. And there was 4 locks on the device, so he'd go to the location, be given a key, get further instructions, go to the next location, be given a key, get further instructions. The idea being to go through this frickin' scavenger hunt to get the 4 keys, unlock the device, and be released, and then leave the money at a specific location. However, the police caught him as he exited the bank and handcuffed him and sat him to the ground. He was trying to tell them, it's like, well, I got this bomb on me. I got to get this off. It's going to go off. And, of course, everybody's, like, slowing down to see. They see all these cop cars and stuff. The bomb squad's been called, but the bomb squad can't get there in time because of all the fucking traffic now because the police have blocked everything off, and they're all watching. So the bomb goes off, kills the guy. Bomb squad gets there like several minutes later after the fact. It's like, well, fuck. And a lot of them didn't even think it was necessarily a real device. They thought it might have been just a fake to make you think there's a bomb, but no, it was actually a real device. Obviously, guy was killed. So it became a big mystery of, well, who the fuck did this? And it's like so convoluted. Like this elaborate device being built and made and triggered, and these notes that looked like they were traced off of typewritten notes, so you couldn't even look at what the handwriting was. And it was...
The interesting thing is like, there was no keys ever planted.
No, well, that was the thing, was they determined, looking
Very
at
early on.
figuring out the route that he was going to have to take to get these keys, he didn't have enough time before the timer would go off. He had like 55 minutes to go through this whole thing, and it would have taken longer than that to go through the whole route. So it was like it was intended that he would die. He would leave the money at a certain part of the drop-off. They would get it, and he would just get killed.
Because they didn't want their identity revealed, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was essentially the pansy. He was like just unlucky at the wrong place. Patsy. Sorry, I always get those two terms mixed up. Very different.
Not a pansy, he's a patsy.
Patsy. Correct.
Completely different term.
Yes, I know. I'm aware of that. It's just I get them mixed up in my brain. But
fine.
But yeah. Anyway, again, really interesting to see the investigation. And how they figured it all out. There were so many layers to this thing. Like
it's 6 episodes, I think. And
no, it's only 4, but it was
4. I feel but at the end, there's like I'm left even more confused and baffled by the end of the 3rd episode than I was at the first. I'm getting all the data I'm getting, and like I'm just thinking like, wow, this is the inspiration for Saw. But still, what?
It kind of I absolutely.
I feel like it is one of the inspirations for Saw.
I wouldn't be surprised. Really because of the contraption that they put on this guy.
Yeah. I remember watching the news story about this one too, by the way.
Yeah. But it was really fascinating seeing, and it really shows you just how twisted some people are. I mean, not just the sadistic nature of having the bomb thing attached to him, but also just the entire plan. And when you figure out what the plan was, when they figured that out, and who was behind it, and how this person coerced others to do other things as a part of the plan, and it was just
other murders and other
there's other murders.
There's other things, other crimes.
There's other murders. There's other mysterious deaths tied into this whole thing, and
this woman is evil.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna tell me you watched Tiger King finally. I was like,
no, not yet. But
we talked about the inhumane treatment to animals in the previous one. I meant to say this. I thought you were going to tell me Tiger King. I was like, oh, you saw it finally? Oh.
No.
There's layers. That's another one of those where you're like, wait, what? At the end of an episode, you're like, wait, what? Oh my god. I got to watch more. What's happening?
Yeah, so
Pistol Black. That's all I got to say. Watch out for Pistol Black.
Yeah, so there was that one, and I think that was... Yeah, and then I'm just finishing up The Ripper right now, which is about the Yorkshire Ripper, which we talked about earlier.
That's on my list to watch also.
It's very good. Yeah, it's very...
Now you spoiled the misogyny.
Sorry, enjoy the misogyny.
I will probably be very triggered by it, honestly.
You'll pick up on it almost right away. But
I'll probably be triggered by it. Like, fuck you.
But it's called out appropriately in the documentary, so take some solace in that, I guess. But yeah, anyway.
It's also the past, you can't really change it.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's very of its time. Yeah. So, this is Netflix. There's lots of other documentaries about serial killers and true crime on there to enjoy. So I'll probably watch a few more this week. I'm just kind of, in that mode right now.
Oh, big head start on you on those. We've watched a bunch of them.
I enjoy... it's a mood thing. I mean, once in a while, I'm just kind of in the mood for some true crime stories, and then I move on to other things, and then I'm obsessed over that for a while.
That's just what happens to us.
But then by the time I come back to being interested in true crime stories again, there's a whole bunch of new ones that I haven't seen yet. So, yeah. There was one that was on Netflix a while ago that I watched that was really good. It was about like cyber crimes, like different kinds of cyber crimes, and
that's not helpful. It's really vague.
Well, it was
hackers, y'all.
Well, no, it was about like people who had been stalked online and things like that. But
that's
each
probably too terrifying for me to watch.
But each one was a different story. So it was like each episode was a different crime.
Which is just another reminder that this happens all the time.
Yeah.
I am
That's good.
Constantly.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This helps my anxiety.
One of the things I'm exceedingly thankful is I don't have a stalker. I don't know how I'd deal with that.
Yeah, that's scary shit. But
what are you waiting for?
I was gonna look it up because I think there were still a few episodes I hadn't seen yet, but just seems to be gone. I guess it's just gone.
One of those things they lost, maybe.
I don't know.
Check Amazon, though. Amazon also has a lot of true crime documentaries.
Yeah, I might do that. Maybe I saw it on Amazon, actually. I might have seen it.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what it was called. True crime documentaries.
There's also some on Shudder now too. Like, goddamn.
Excellent. Just all the true crime you can handle. Learn how
Yeah,
horrible
right?
people can be to other humans.
I'm telling you, Jim can't swim on YouTube, even if he can't afford Netflix or Amazon. They're free, and they are actually like this. Like, I'm talking high quality, as in
Put a lot of
They're
work into
something
them.
a studio would have done. Kind
Yeah.
of.
It feels like it could be on
Very good.
Netflix easily. You know,
Yeah.
on some of those episodes are really high quality.
I don't know why Netflix hasn't already given him a job. I mean,
Maybe he does and we don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe he's the producer behind all these ones we like or something. You know,
could be.
he's like, I like to do the YouTube thing, but I'll produce stuff for you. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't think anyone. I think he'd probably take the job at Netflix, but
Oh, hold on.
because
a second.
Netflix doesn't hire like someone to do them. They just find someone's completed work and buy it, or they pay for it up front and say, "You make a movie, we'll be over here."
Nope, that's not the one.
Yeah.
I found one on Prime called Murder on the Internet, but it's only 2 episodes. That's definitely not the one I watched.
That's not long enough. No,
No.
okay.
No, need more. Need at least 4.
I say as I've seen plenty of feature-length documentaries.
Anyway, I don't remember what it was called. It was a good one. They had some pretty, there was a few episodes where I knew what the story was, and I was like, I'm not watching that. I know that story. That's too... There's certain
I'm
stories
thankful I'm
that...
not pretty enough to get stalked, you know?
Yeah.
I'm too ugly for it. Good shit.
So then, in the midst of all the true crime horrors,
Right.
I watched Sorry to Bother You.
Oh my god, I saw that when I was on
Have you seen that?
vacation, and
Ah,
they're talking about someone with a horse, right?
yeah, but don't,
didn't want to spoil.
don't,
They just said
yeah,
horse.
yeah,
All I said was horse.
uh-huh.
Because if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about, the
Yeah,
horse? Okay,
I know.
horse. All right,
Anyway,
that's fine.
stop saying it.
So good, horse.
Um,
So good. I laughed so fucking hard.
Yeah, but the thing I liked about this was recommended to me by Annetta, actually. She had seen it recently. She says, you got to see Sorry to Bother You. I'm like, okay, cool. I resonated a little bit with this because I used to do some telemarketing back in the early days of looking for gainful employment. It's terrible. I hate it. But so I got a lot of the humor in it. But there's a lot of stuff about just what a shitty job of being a telemarketer is, but there's also a lot of social commentary in it as well about, sort of racial issues and, how hard it is to get ahead if you're a person of color and things like that. They have this joke where it's like, well, if you want to do well, Danny Glover is in it as the sort of old seasoned telemarketer. He says, yeah, if you want to do really well, don't use your black voice. Use a white voice. I'm like, what? so he starts using his white voice. He comes up with this, hi there, how's it going today?
Right?
And the main character's white voice is David Cross, who has like...
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Who has like the whitest voice ever.
I just thought he could do a white voice. So
And then he eventually gets promoted, and the guy who kind of shows him around, it's like, okay, so in this department, you only ever use your white voice. It's like, okay, I'll do that. And the guy who's showing him around, his white voice is Patton Oswalt. So this is a wonderful, wonderful film. It's funny. It's got some heartfelt moments as well. It's
the other whitest person you can find.
It's yeah, exactly. But it's got a very good balance and lots of social commentary, social satire. It also pokes fun at the evils of giant corporations and how they will literally do anything to make more money at the expense of the little guys. But this was a very, very good movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. It's one I would actually really like to get on Blu-ray because I'd like to watch it again and again.
It's out of print in the U.S. So
of
you
course.
have to import it from the Great Britain.
Great.
That's
Well,
fun.
I'll just wait on that.
I think it's
then.
reading free though.
We'll see. Anyway, but it was very good. Highly recommend it. It's called Sorry to Bother You. And the scenes where he's like talking to the people he's calling are quite hilarious because it's like visually the way they did it was rather than just having the standard sort of back and forth between the phone. It's like when he calls the person and they answer, there's this like shuddering and suddenly his desk just like drops into their home. So it's like they're talking face to face, but they're still on the phone and stuff like that. So it's pretty.
Honestly, I want it in the Criterion Collection.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think it's great. And there
Really
are
fucking
some really cool makeup effects in this, which I will not explain beyond that. But it is all practical effects and animatronics, which is very cool, and I thought
It
worked really well.
10 in case you're curious.
Well, oh wow, that's huge for you, and
Fucking
rare.
great.
But
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's very rare.
but yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot, and I highly recommend it if you like some a little bit of satirical fun with some social satire, and two very funny men doing the white voices. But yeah, it's very good. I honestly I don't want to say too much about it, but because half the fun is just kind of being surprised as you go.
I still need to see it.
But
Oh my God.
oh,
Stop, you're gonna fucking love
Stoud,
it.
you are gonna
Jesus
love this
Christ.
movie. So you're
You
gonna.
need to put this at the top of your list of finding this
Yeah,
shit. Trust
it's
me.
on Netflix. It's on Netflix right
Or
now.
Netflix.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's not. It's on Netflix in Canada only.
Oh, you checked? All
Well, I know I've seen it somewhere.
right. Well, it's got to be out there somewhere.
Hulu.
Is it
So
Hulu?
Ah.
had.
I have
Fucking
that.
Hulu. All right, there you go. Yeah,
It's,
see a lot.
Hulu subscription.
See a lot of the stuff that comes on Hulu, we get over because we don't have Hulu in Canada. We get it on one of the other streaming services. Usually, it's a toss-up between Netflix and Crave. Those are the two that seem to get Hulu stuff. But anyway, I think that's all I watched this week. Yeah, I had some Blu-rays I was gonna watch, but I just kind of got sucked into Netflix land. So
It happens.
that's the way the news goes.
True crime just sometimes just happens, literally.
It does. Well, the thing is, the nice thing about them is a lot of them are very compact. So they're like short little 3 or 4 episode mysteries that you can, just get sucked into and watch.
Grind through all of them at once usually.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I did this week. Was I just watched a bunch of them that looked interesting, and that was that.
There's so many more. Oh my God, you have no
Lots
idea.
of horribly evil people getting their comeuppances.
There's a
And a few
documentary
sad
coming out to
moments,
HBO
too.
called "I'll Be Gone in the Dark," or I guess it's might not. It's based on the book "I'll Be Gone in the Dark," which is
Okay.
the Patton Oswalt's passed away wife. Is the book she was working on.
Oh, okay.
It's about the Golden State Killer, the other Night Stalker.
Interesting.
By the way, I was 2 episodes into this Night Stalker documentary thinking it was that guy,
Oh,
and then I was like, wait, this is Richard Ramirez. God damn
this
it.
is the other Night Stalker. Yeah, yeah. But
I'm more familiar with the Golden State Killer than I am with
Yeah.
Richard Ramirez. So like, this doesn't seem right. What
yeah,
the
I
fuck
actually
was
wasn't
there?
overly familiar. I mean, I knew the name just because he's so well known, but I wasn't overly familiar with the case. So it was really interesting to me to see what the whole thing was and how they caught him. Yeah, so check out The Ripper. That one's really good. And the
My favorite part is I just watched the Boston Strangler and Gil was on the Boston Strangler, or the Hill. He's on the Hill Strangler.
Oh, the
Hillside
same guy.
Sorry,
Oh, that's
He's in the Hillside Strangler, not the Boston Strangler.
that's
my
great.
bad.
Gil
Wrong
was
Strangler.
great. I really liked Gil a lot.
Yes, I
What a
wanted
great-
him to be in the Cecil documentary, but only his partner was.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, good stuff. Anyway, I think we're done. It's after 11. I need food.
You need to go to bed, sir.
Well, I'm not gonna go to bed just yet. So for tomorrow's marathon, we've got 3.5 hours in the queue so far. Still plenty room for more. It's a long day tomorrow, and I don't have anything else going on. So keep me up playing games. Come on, let's do it.
It's man's rent for entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. So I can continue to entertain you. Sean isn't
Yep.
going to bed. Yeah, I'm not going to bed anytime soon. I'm going to be doing something. So I'll probably I'll probably shoot for like between 12 and 2 again tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. If we end up getting just a stupid number of extra hours during the thing tomorrow,
Go another day.
we'll just go another day, basically.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it. I don't care. Whatever. Birthday stream on Thursday.
Yep. It's on my calendar. I just got a notification. Like,
Yes.
all right.
There you go.
Bring
That's
your gifts
5 days.
and your love.
That's right. All right. Have a great day or night, everybody. Thanks for coming out. And we'll see you next time. Until then, sayonara.
Stay
Bye-bye.
strafe. Straight penis and stray strafe.
Stay strafe with your penis.
Well, Eric wasn't here to do penis, so penis. Yeah.
Yes.
That's all Rosie's hand wave.
There you go. Rosie's hand was waving. You can't see
Yep.
anymore because you're on the title screen. All right, later, everybody.